The Pride are coming off a rare non-conference game in the middle of CAA play on Sunday. They went down to Dallas, took on a very good SMU squad, and got beat pretty well.
The loss to SMU was probably their worst loss of the season, if not mentally. After the game, Coach Malik wasn't shy, saying they were outmanned in that one for 40 minutes. But SMU is one of the best teams in the American Conference. In my opinion, that defense can beat just about anyone in the nation, and Hofstra just couldn't get going. It was 11 minutes in before they hit a 2-point field goal, so Hofstra just struggled for 40 minutes, and it was everyone on the team.
The Pride commit at 6-12 on the year. They're 2-1 in the CAA, coming off that 73-49 loss on Sunday to the Mustangs. William & Mary, they come in one of the surprises this year. They're 10-6, also 2-1 in the CAA, and they're led by a very high-powered offense. Marcus Thornton, one of the most electric guards in the conference.
This team loves to shoot three-pointers. Marcus Thornton front and center along with Brandon Britt. Tim Rustovan is another high scorer for this team. They're a very high-scoring team, very good at rebounding. Hofstra's got its work cut out for them today.
One of these two teams will get off to a 3-1 start in the conference. Which will it be? Starting lineups will get underway from the Mack here in just a bit, but first, we pause 10 seconds for Station ID here on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
Broadcasting from the Hofstra School of Communication, this is the radio home of Hofstra Pride Sports. WRHU-FM Hempstead. Radio Hofstra University.
William & Mary's a bit short-handed today. Two of their better players are done, are not playing for the first couple of minutes of this game. From where we go sideline with Carrie Schreiber. All right, we paused for the technical difficulties with Carrie, as we'll give you the starting lineups for today's game. As for William & Mary, it will be Brandon Britt, the senior, suspended for the first 9 games of this year. He will make his first start because Marcus Thornton will not. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Julian Boatner, a senior guard, is at the 2 position. He averages 7 points a game. Sophomore guard Terry Tarpey rounds out the backcourt, 6 points a night. Up front, you have Kyle Gaylord, a redshirt senior, 7 points, 4 boards a game, and then senior Tim Rusthoven is the center. 3rd-team All-CAA last year. They're coached by Cody Kimball, Jonathan Holmes, and Austin Shaver. They're the assistants. Shaver's father, the head coach, Tony Shaver, in his 11th year. But no Marcus Thornton out for the Pride. For more, we go sideline with Carrie Schreiber.
Thanks, Rob. To start off today's game, William & Mary will be short-handed as they'll be without their best player, Marcus Thornton, who's second in scoring in the CAA because he was late for a pregame meal. His roommate, Omar Pruitt, was also late, so he will be the first man off the bench for today. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Carrie. As for Hofstra, Deion Nesmith, the point guard, averages 12.5 points a game. The 2 guard is Jamal Robinson, the freshman, 9 points a night. Zeke Upshaw leads the CAA, just over 19 points a game, although he scored just 10 against SMU. And up front, you have Jordan Allen. He scored just 1 point on Sunday. Stephen Walcone, 8.5 boards. That's good for 4th in the conference. Hofstra and the home whites moving from left to right here to open things up. William & Mary and the road greens trimmed in gold and black gold and white, excuse me. We are underway from the Mack. Up top, it's Jamal Robinson, dribbles with the right hand, lost it, stolen away immediately by William & Mary. Unable to keep it in play is Tarpey. 1 possession for Hofstra, 1 turnover. Julian Boatner has it between the circles, pass nearly stolen away by Jordan Allen. To the corner for Tarpey, he's guarded by Jamal Robinson. Switch off to Jordan Allen. Now it's Britt, gives off to Gaylord. Gaylord, right wing side, finds Julian Boatner, holds over the head, 13 to shoot, up top for Rusthoven. Hands off now, faking it up top is Britt, finds Tarpey left of the key, 8 to shoot. Hands off to Rusthoven, Gaylord gives off to Britt, 4 to shoot, top of the key. Britt has to do something, he forces up a fadeaway 3 at the shot clock and he hits it. First start of the year for Brandon Britt. He scores first. It's 3-0 William & Mary a minute in.
Hofstra played 34 seconds of great defense. William & Mary couldn't find that open shot until the last second, but it was Terry Tarpey who started that possession with William & Mary. He's one of the best guys in the conference. In steals, he's top 5.
The officials for today's game, Raymond Steins Jr., Tim Ebersol, and Matt Oblas. Jamal Robinson pulls up 16 feet on the left side, around out the rebound. Deflected around, controlled by Jordan Allen. The putback with the left hand, too strong. Terry Tarpey rips down the rebound. Fast break for William & Mary. Boatner now slows things up between the circles. Drives left, now pauses. Finds Tarpey right wing side. Guarded by Jamal Robinson. Dribbles twice with the left hand. Finds Brandon Britt. He's guarded by Nesmith up top for Rusthoven. Rusthoven looks for a backdoor pass to Tarpey. Not there. Now he finds Tarpey. Finds it to Britt. Britt hits Boatner between the circles. 12 to shoot. The left wing side. There's Gaylord. Gives off to Rusthoven. Drives on Walcone and gets called for steps. Rusthoven dragged the pivot foot. First turnover for the Tribe. 2 minutes in, it's 3-0 William and Mary.
And Rusthoven is one of the cleanest players on this team. Mentally, he doesn't turn the ball over that much. He's one of the smarter players on the Tribe, but so a rare mistake there gives Hofstra the basketball.
Up top, it's Jordan Allen. Finds Nesmith left of the key. Takes the screen from Waukoni. Gives it back to Allen. Foul line extended to right side. It's Jamal Robinson now. Looks back to Joma Halleck. Tries to call out a play. Fakes right, now crosses over left. Up top, looks for Upshaw. Can't find him, though. Now he gives it off to Nesmith. 10 on the shot clock. We're 2:15 in. Nesmith drives right, goes into the lane on Rusthoven. He lays it up, banks it off glass. Good, and the foul. Dion Nesmith stands at exactly 6 feet, taking on 6'9" Rusthoven. Draws a three-point play, the chance to tie, 2:20 in.
And Nesmith has had his struggles in the first half offensively, so early on, it's good to see Dion get some points. Not even 3 minutes into this game, and to be able to make it 3. He misses the free throw.
But Hofstra gets the offensive rebound. Nesmith all alone, left wing three is short. The rebound deflected to Tim Rusthoven. Next break, Marcus Thornton will check in. Second in the conference in scoring behind only Zeke Upshaw. Pass was deflected out of play by Dion Nesmith, so Thornton will come in. The junior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland will come in for Julian Boatner. He's one of the more electric players in the conference. The inbound goes to Brandon Britt out near midcourt. Takes a high screen from Rusthoven, switching off Hofstra in the man-to-man here early on. Britt between the circles, crosses over, now goes left wing side. Faking a three is Gaylord. Bounce pass up top for Rusthoven. 6'9" guarded by 6 foot Nesmith on the switch. Thornton explodes inside. Tough layup is short. Jordan Allen comes away with the rebound. Now it's Upshaw, left wing side. He'll drive inside baseline, banks it off glass. Good, and the foul again. Zeke Upshaw driving hard, drawing the foul, and one. Hofstra takes their first lead. It's 4-3 Pride, 3 minutes in.
Well, William and Mary is a team that typically relies on that outside shot for Thornton to take it into the lane himself and try to create some offense. Couldn't get the shot to go, and it was a good job by Hofstra to come away with the rebound. William and Mary, though, really taking their time on offense. They've run that shot clock down. Hofstra with some quick 3 points as Upshaw converts.
The foul was on Brandon Britt, his first, the team's second. As it's 5-3 Pride, 3 minutes in. Crossing midcourt and stopping is Terry Tarpey, gives off to Brandon Britt. Britt was suspended for the first 9 games. He was arrested in October for a DUI. Britt has it left wing side, holds over his head, guarded by Zeke Upshaw. Upshaw ups the pressure, dribbles to the top of the key, now drives inside, lays it up with the right hand, too strong. Rebound, the tip by Rusthoven won't go, and Upshaw comes away with it for Hofstra. Pushing the other way, Upshaw takes it himself, jumps out to the foul line, and he took steps. Upshaw maybe trying to do a little bit too much there through traffic, second Hofstra turnover.
Both sides trying to work quickly with the basketball. That time it was Hofstra turning it over.
Britt will walk it across midcourt. Goes left wing side for Tarpey. Looks inside for Rusthoven. Nice defense by Stephen Waukoni. Thornton now top of the key. Bounce pass right side for Britt. Thornton cuts inside, can't find him. Up top it's Rusthoven. Gives back to Britt. One dribble inside to Tarpey left of the key. 15 on the shot clock. Bounce pass to Rusthoven straight away. Now left side for Thornton. Stops his dribble, swung around to Britt. 8 to shoot. Britt between the circles, hesitates left, 4 to shoot. Chucks up a 3 from 25 feet out and rattles around and out, and Upshaw controls the rebound.
Just not trying to go inside the arc. They're trying to take those outside shots, and they've been getting them long range. They just haven't been able to get them to go.
Over 40% of the shots they take are from three-point range. They love to shoot the 3. Upshaw takes a 3 of his own from the right corner. It rattled around and out. It was halfway down and fell out. Rebound goes to William and Mary. Here's Thornton in the corner all alone. Gaylord for 3, and he hits. 14-3 on the year for Gaylord. William and Mary retakes the lead, 6-5. We're 4.5 minutes in. It's Jordan Allen, dribbles it to Zeke Upshaw on the left side. Up top for Dion Nesmith. He dribbles once, finds Jamal Robinson. Might have gotten away with the travel, now drives inside. Finger roll with the right hand is short. The rebound fought for. Bodies fly, and a foul I think is going to be called. Yep, Jordan Allen's going to be called for his first personal, the team's first. It'll be Tribe basketball when we come back. 15-14 to play here in half number 1. William and Mary out to the early 6-5 lead over Hofstra. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
Islanders fans have an edge. Islanders Edge, the weekly
half-hour magazine radio show dedicated to all things Islanders. All things Islanders. Exclusive interviews with players, candid comments from the coach, breaking news, up-to-the-minute stats, and much, much more. Everyone loves an edge. Now you have it. Islanders Edge. Friday nights at 6:30, exclusively on the flagship radio station for your New York Islanders, 88.7 FM, Radio Hofstra University.
Tune in to The Coach's Show every Tuesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Go inside the minds of your favorite Hofstra coaches.
This is Joe Mihalik, head coach of your Hofstra Pride men's basketball team.
Hey, this is Coach Krista Kilburn-Staveski of your Hofstra Pride women's basketball team.
On The Coach's Show, only on your home for Hofstra Sports, 88.7 FM, WRHU.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride men's basketball on 88.7 FM, WRHU, and WRHU.org.
Welcome back to the Mack. William & Mary leads Hofstra 6-5. The Pride coming off a 24-point defeat on Sunday to Southern Methodist, 73-49 in the game. They are at 1 point down by 33. Carrie Schreiber tells us how the Pride are expected to respond.
Thanks, Rob. The Pride look to move ahead from the disappointing loss against SMU this past weekend. Coach Mihalik said that they didn't take full advantage of their opportunity to play against a tough team. But now all they can do is put the loss behind them because they've got 3 tough games in 8 days to look forward to.
All right, thanks, Carrie. And it starts tonight, Mark, against a William & Mary team. One of the surprises of the CAA so far. They're 2-1, 10-6, and they've beaten some pretty good teams. And overall, I don't think the expectation was there for Tony Shaver. I don't think the rest of the conference knew how good this Tribe team could be.
No, I talked to Coach Mihalik the other day when we were at the airport getting ready to fly back from Dallas, and he said, I don't know why more people around this conference haven't been talking about William & Mary. The focus has been on Delaware, Northeastern, Towson, those 3 schools. That's where the focus has been, but he considers William & Mary right up at the top in the CAA himself.
They lead the CAA in most offensive categories. Second in points, first in field goal percentage, first in threes, first in assists, also first in steals on the defensive side of things. So they can score with the best of them as they have the ball going from right to left. It's Marcus Thornton, a couple of substitutions. Daniel Dixon makes his first appearance, as does Sean Sheldon. As a foul's going to be called away from the basketball, it'll be against Hofstra. The other 2 out there, Julian Boatner and Kyle Gaylord. Foul is going to go on Hofstra against Musa Kone, his first, the team's second, fresh 35 for the Tribe. Immediately goes to Thornton in the left corner. The 5 out there for Hofstra, Zeke Upshaw, Dion Nesmith, Stephen Wakone, Musa Kone, and Jamal Robinson. Up top, it's Daniel Dixon. Thought about a 3 now, works inside for Sheldon. Spins around, lays it up with the left hand, draws the foul. Musa Kone is about to pick up his second foul in about 5 seconds. William & Mary takes a 3-point lead, 8-5, just over 5 minutes in.
And it's Sean Sheldon who's going to the line. He's averaging about 15 minutes per game this season, all off the bench. He's one of the top post guys coming in for Tony Shaver off his bench.
He averages 4 points a night. A sophomore from Michigan. As he misses the free throw, Musa Kone comes away with the rebound. So Musa will have to stay out there with 2 fouls. Darren Payne will check in for him at the next whistle. Hofstra has it down by 3. Zeke Upshaw up top, hits Dion Nesmith, guarded by Thornton, who kicks it. So Hofstra will have an inbound, and Payne will come in. The sophomore will come in for Kone. Payne had just 3 points in 18 minutes of action on Sunday, and they all came in the same sequence, a 3-point play in the first half.
And the key with Payne all season long has been the production on offense that he's brought to Hofstra. It hasn't been all the way there for him on defense, and this will be a good matchup with him going against William & Mary down low. Right
wing side, Zeke Upshaw crosses over, pulls up right of the key, 3 on the way, rattles home. First 3 for Zeke Upshaw, he has 6. It's 8-8, here's 6 minutes in.
Upshaw 4 points away from reaching 10 for the 9th straight game.
He leads the conference in scoring. His last 6 in particular have been exceptional, just under 22 points a contest in that span. Up top, it's Sean Sheldon, gives off to Thornton, pulls up top of the key, 3, that's an answer. First 3 for Marcus Thornton. He has now 47 threes on the year. That's second in the conference, 11-8. William & Mary retakes the lead.
One of the all-time career scorers for the Tribe. The conference opener, they put up, earlier in their conference slate, he recorded his 1,200th career point.
They have 3 1,000-point scorers on this team. Hofstra turns over the basketball. Thornton steals it away, then slows up the pressure. Crosses midcourt, into the corner, swung around. Jamal Robinson tips the pass out of bounds. Jordan Allen will come in for Payne. So the same starting 5 out there for Hofstra of Robinson, Allen, Upshaw, Nesmith, and Wakone. You have Thornton, who has 1,200 plus points. Rusthoven and Brandon Britt also over 1,000 points. Right to the key three from Thornton is way long. Rebound tipped to Waukone, tipped it to himself. And Dion Nesmith will walk it across midcourt.
Waukone's been doing that in every conference game this year for Hofstra.
Nesmith drives inside, tries to bank it off glass. He did that earlier. This time he misses. He'll go to the free throw line for 2. Foul, I believe, is going to go against Marcus Thornton. That would be his first. It's the team's 3rd. You're right, Waukone. He went through a 5-6 game stretch where he didn't rebound the basketball as well as he was at the beginning of the season and in the preseason, but lately he's turned it on, averaging 11 rebounds a game his last 4 as Nesmith hits the first.
Well, it's been so important for Hofstra to establish that post presence, especially on offense. You know, when Waukone and Kone are part of Hofstra's offense and they score at least 10, Hofstra tends to win. A majority of Hofstra's wins have come when those guys have contributed that well on offense, because you know what you're going to get rebounding-wise from that combination.
Nesmith misses the second, 11-9, a 3 on the way from the right wing side. It was no good by William and Mary. The rebound from Sean Sheldon was no good. The rebound deflected out around the 3rd chance. William and Mary will get it back. Transition defense for Hofstra was poor. Daniel Dixon missed a wide open 3. Marked down, they couldn't rebound.
And down low, it just looked like the guys in the tribe were almost playing volleyball with the basketball, just batting it back and forth, trying to get a putback shot to go. It was Jamal Robinson who was jumping up to try to get it for Hofstra before it went out of bounds.
Gaylord and Dixon will leave. Entering for the first time, Omar Pruitt, the leader right now, leading candidate for CAA Rookie of the Year, and Terry Tarpey also returns for the Tribe. Right now, Pruitt has it up top for Thornton. Takes right now, goes left, now works his way back to the right side. Right in front of Joe Mihalik. A bounce pass up top for Sheldon. Finds Boatner on the right wing side. He'll drive up top for Pruitt. Quick handoff to Tarpey. 13 on the shot clock. 12:40 on the game clock here in the first half. Pruitt nearly lost it. Drives on Stephen Waukone. Nice dish inside to Sheldon, who lays it in gently with the left hand. Omar Pruitt making an immediate impact off the bench. 4-point lead for the Tribe. 7.5 minutes in.
There's a reason why he's won 6 CAA Rookie of the Week awards already.
Driving inside is Jamal Robinson. Kick out. Right wing 3 from Upshaw on the way. It's good. Zeke Upshaw already with 9 points, 2 threes. Pride down 1, 13-12, nearly 8 minutes in. Omar Pruitt, a right wing 3 of his own. That one is short. Upshaw skies for the rebound. Keeps the tippy toes in bounds. Right along that baseline. Now Dion Nesmith the other way. Stops. Finds Upshaw. Drives inside. Lays it up with the right hand. It goes in. Zeke Upshaw already in double figures for the 9th straight game, 17th time this year. He has 11. Hofstra takes the lead 14-13.
He's starting to put a lot more responsibility on himself to score. He's taking it to the basket himself much more often than we saw earlier in the season.
Over half of his shots are from three-point land, but at 6'6", he has the potential to be one of the better stretch players in the conference. Baby hook from Sean Sheldon inside was strong. Jordan Allen with the rebound. Here's Upshaw once again. Stutter steps inside. Left-handed layup this time. He can't get it to fall. There was traffic. No foul called. The long outlet to Marcus Thornton. Right wing side goes through his leg. Stops at the elbow. Inside calling for it and laying it in easily was Tarpey. Someone missed the defensive assignment. Tarpey was wide open his first 2. William and Mary retakes the lead. Back and forth we go. We're 9 minutes in. William and Mary leads 15-14. Both teams 2-1 in the conference. Up top, it's Dion Nesmith. Bounces inside to Allen. Reverse lay, but the left hand was good. May not have needed all that flash, but Jordan Allen will take it. His first bucket, 16-15.
Pruitt, who was down at the post, had no idea where the basketball was going. Didn't even know Allen was right behind him.
Allen did a little drop step and didn't need the reverse layup, but it went in nonetheless. The left elbow holding it over his head is Sheldon. Finds Thornton. Fakes a right wing 3. Carries it top of the key. Thought about a 3. Kick out to Tarpey. Dribbles once. Cross corner. For Boatner, a left corner 3 is long. And Jamal Robinson, the easy rebound. He'll take it himself. Gives it off to Zeke Upshaw. The bounce pass to Dion Nesmith to slow things up. We're nearing the midway point here of half number 1. Already 5 lead changes and a tie. It's 16-15 Hofstra right now. Dion Nesmith has it to the elbow for Allen. Tries to back down Pruitt. Spins on him. Lays it up with the right hand and in. Omar Pruitt, no match for Jordan Allen down low. 18-15. This is the Jordan Allen that we've seen 3 of the last 4 games when he had double figures in all of them.
Career high 18 against Delaware. That's 2 possessions in a row that Allen was able to beat out Pruitt. And all he could do is shake his head as Pruitt came back down the court.
A right of the key 3 for Boatner. No one got a hand in his face. He hit it. Already 4 threes for William & Mary for Boatner, his 32nd on the year. That's 7th in the CAA. We're tied at 18. Hofstra got back on defense, but on the switch, no one covered Boatner. William & Mary switches to his zone, it looks like, after back-to-back buckets inside for Hofstra. Out near midcourt, the Hofstra H's Dion Nesmith to hold, goes foul line extended to Upshaw. Swung around to Robinson, left side, 10 to shoot. One dribble to Nesmith up top. Spot up 3-ball on the way from Dion, nothing but net. First 3 for Dion, he has 6, 21 to 18. Hofstra regains the 3-point lead as we're trading threes.
Nice to see some early offense from Nesmith, 6 points for him.
His last 5 games in the first half, he averages 2 points. Second half has been better, but it's been held off the score sheet 3 of the last 5 first halves. In the corner, Pruitt drives inside on Upshaw, tries to get the pass, can't get it past Upshaw, who tips it out of bounds. Try basketball with 14 to shoot when we return. 8:44 to play here in half number 1. It's 21 to 18, Hofstra over William & Mary. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. In the CAA, 2 other games are currently in progress. CAA Player of the Week Jarrell Benneman and the Towson Tigers are hosting the Northeastern Huskies in Maryland. The Tigers look to notch their 5th straight victory, but Towson is trailing Northeastern 15-7 almost halfway through the first half. Also underway, the UNCW Seahawks are in South Carolina to face the College of Charleston Cougars. The Seahawks are 0-5 in conference play and look to snap a 9-game losing skid. And with 10 minutes left in the first half, the College of Charleston is leading 22-11. Heading to some top 25 action now, top-ranked Arizona will host Colorado tomorrow night at 9. Meanwhile, on Saturday, number 2 Syracuse will travel to Miami for a 1 o'clock tip-off. With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. Now it's sent back to the guys on site, Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen, and Kerry Schreiber.
Hey, this is Stephen Waconi, son of your Hofstra Pride men's basketball team, and you're listening to all the action live on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride men's basketball on 88.7 FM WRHU and WRHU.org.
There's 8:44 to play in half number 1 from the Mack. Hofstra leads William & Mary 21 to 18. Rob Joyce and Mark Prusen with you. Zeke Upshaw off to another terrific start. He already has 11 points, 11 of Hofstra's 21. Zeke continues to shine. Kerry Schreiber tells us more.
Thanks, Rob. Zeke Upshaw has continually been in double figures this season, including his past 8 games. He leads the CAA in scoring with 19 points per game and has been a huge asset to the Pride this season. He ranks as, for this increase from last year, he ranks as one of the top scorers in the nation, and he's had a top improvement in the college basketball. So we'll see what Zeke does today. Thanks, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Kerry. And what it looks like he's already doing, Mark, is taking over the basketball game more than just what he did, say, when he hit 7 threes against UNCW.
Exactly. He's driving to the basketball more. He's trying to create more opportunities for himself. Saw him do it a couple of times in the game against the Cougars.
As Marcus Thornton misses a right corner 3-ball for William & Mary, Hofstra will take over.
Hofstra finished the first half against Charleston on a 10-0 run, and Zeke had 6 of those points himself.
Hofstra and the home whites moving from left to right. They have a 3-point lead. It's Dion Nesmith. Chris Jenkins checks in for the first time tonight. Zeke Upshaw, Darren Payan, and Jordan Allen. Musa Kone already with 2 fouls. Jenkins left of the key 3. Nothing but net over Marcus Thornton. Chris Jenkins immediately makes an impact. Already 5 threes for Hofstra. It's 24 to 18. Scratch that, make it 4 threes for the Pride. Brandon Britt, Tim Rusthoven, Marcus Thornton, Kyle Gaylord, and Omar Pruitt, the 5 out there for the Tribe. Britt has it left to the key to the left wing side for Thornton. Quickly inside for Rusthoven. Backs down Payan. Baby hook with the right hand is short, and Jordan Allen comes away with the rebound. 2 meetings last season, they split them. 70 to 59, Hofstra won here as Upshaw, right wing 3, all alone is long. Rebound goes to Pruitt. 72-59, William & Mary won down in Williamsburg. That second matchup, Rusthoven had 17 points, 16 rebounds. Pruitt has it now, between the circles, gives off to Rusthoven, left elbow. Hounded by Payan, gives it off to Britt. Drives inside, pull up from 4 feet is long. Payan might have gotten a piece of it. Rebound, Rusthoven, no good. Gets his own rebound with the left hand, he's fouled. Joe Mihalik, I don't think, agrees with the call. Either way, Darren Payan gets called for his first personal, the team's 4th. Free throws coming for the Tribe when we come back. 7:18 to play here in half number 1. 24 to 18, Hofstra over William & Mary. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
WRHU is your home for Hofstra Pride Sports. We cover all 17 teams from practice to game day. For game schedule and more information, check out WRHU.org and GoHofstra.com.
WRHU is your home for all things Hofstra sports. We bring you complete coverage of all 17 Pride teams. From the four corners of the country,
here in Spokane, Washington,
here in Los Angeles, from Tampa, Florida,
in Boston,
to right here in Hempstead,
with you at the Mack Sports Complex, at University Field, here at James M. Stewart Stadium,
and everywhere in between.
From the KFC Yum Center,
welcome to James Naismith Court, from the Cancun Challenge in Mexico.
For complete game schedules and more information, check out WRHU.org and follow us on Twitter at WRHU Sports.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride Men's Basketball on 88.7 FM, WRHU, and WRHU.org.
24-18, Hofstra leads William & Mary, 7:18 to play here in half number one. Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen with you. Hofstra's 2-1 in the CAA to start things off. Team with low expectations, they were picked to finish last. They're off to a nice start. For where we go to Carrie Schreiber.
Thanks, Rob. The Pride is open conference play with wins against Charleston and UNCW and a tough loss to Delaware. Coach Mihalik said that with the comeback behind win in Charleston, he hopes that it shows that the team is starting to believe in themselves. They just have to keep playing well in conference, and today is another conference game for them to prove that. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Karen. I think we saw that, especially against UNCW. They led by 6 for pretty much between 4 and 6 points most of the half. Early this year, Hofstra loses those basketball games, and now they're starting to win them.
And after the UNCW win, Joe Mihalik said, if these guys hadn't gotten that win over Charleston, there's no way they would have won against the Seahawks because it was a road game. Hofstra struggles on the road, go all the way back to last season. The last road game they had won was at UNCW, oddly enough. So Hofstra breaks that streak again down in Wilmington. But it was a feel-good win for the Pride because it was close. They never ran away with it, and they had to make their free throws down the stretch. It came down to some big shots. Chris Jenkins was one of the guys who stepped up and hit some big free throws, as Rustovin's first is good. But that was really a feel-good win for Hofstra, and certainly one that'll build some confidence as they go through their Colonial season.
Tim Rusthoven at the free throw line. The first one was good. The second one is short. The rebound deflected around, pulled down by Omar Pruitt. Drop step with the left hand. The layup is short. Zeke Upshaw, the long rebound, looks to push 3-on-2 if he hurries. Kick out to Nesmith with the right wing, fakes a three, goes to the elbow, gives it back to Upshaw in the corner. Now Nesmith will slow things up. It's 24-19 after the free throw. Hofstra leads. 7 minutes to play on the dot in the first half. Nesmith drives inside, draws a contact before the shot. It's going to go against Brandon Britt. That's his second, team's fourth. And Stephen Wacconi will rush in. The 5 out there for Hofstra are Wacconi, Chris Jenkins, Dion Nesmith, Zeke Upshaw, and Jordan Allen. For William & Mary, it's Omar Pruitt, Marcus Thornton, Tim Rusthoven, Brandon Britt, and Kyle Gaylord. William & Mary 2-1. They're coming off a throttling of James Madison, 78-56 on Saturday. They shot 71% in the first half as a team. Unreal.
And 56 points allowed is their lowest this season.
Defense, Tony Shaver said in the preseason, was the issue. Upshaw wildly drives inside. Nice defense there as he drew pressure from 3 Tribe players. Hofstra came up with the basketball, then traveled with it afterwards. For the Pride, that's their 4th turnover, 6:38 to play here in the first half. Upshaw, is he starting to force it a little bit too much?
He might be. He did lose control of the basketball as there was some contact in the lane.
It's the second time he's already driven in through traffic and lost the basketball. Left to the key, Brandon Britt. Explodes around Upshaw, lays it up with the right hand and rolls around and in. Brandon Britt, lightning quick first step. He has 5, 24-21, Hofstra leads.
Well, he certainly shows up against the Pride. In his career, he's averaged 15 points a game against Hofstra.
Zeke Upshaw has it up top for Nesmith. Dion into the corner. Chris Jenkins, spot up 3 on the way. Is off the back of the rim. No. Rebound goes to Stephen Wacconi. One dribble, he lost possession of it. And the referees are going to confer. They're going to say Hofstra basketball. A couple of Tribe players try to take a couple of steps the other way. A couple of substitutions for William & Mary. Britt and Pruitt will leave. Coming back in are Tarpey and Boatner. Jordan Allen will inbound up top for Zeke Upshaw. He was open, didn't take the 3. Had a full shot clock to work with. Hofstra will set up a play. It's Upshaw now, quickly bounces low block for Stephen Waconi. Muscles his way inside around Rusthoven, gently lays it in with the left hand. Power move from Stephen Waconi, his first two. Hofstra up 5 with 5:40 to play in the first.
That's what he's done in conference play. He shut down Ajay Baru and beat him for 40 minutes against the Cougars. Held his own against Delaware.
William & Mary enters with Rusthoven, who bulls down past Waconi. First field goal for Rusthoven. 26-23 Hofstra. For a couple of teams that have hit a ton of threes, now they're going inside. Nesmith drives inside, a wild layup, no good. Long outlet pass from William & Mary. Tarpey one-on-one with Jenkins. Finger roll with the right hand. Didn't use the glass. It hit nothing but net as Jenkins tried to draw the charge, and he failed miserably.
Jenkins had himself set, but Tarpey just drove right around to the right. He spun around. There was no one at the other block, and he just laid it in. Got right around Jenkins. Great body control by Tarpey.
He had 3 steps to figure out Jenkins was set up, as Jenkins was there forever. He drives baseline over to Waconi. Nice feed from Jenkins. He makes up for it. Waconi lays it in. 4 points for Stephen, 28-25. It's been a back-and-forth first half, 4:40 to play in it. Marcus Thornton might have gotten away with the travel. Swung around right corner. Boatner 3, rattles around and out. The rebound deflected around, still loose. Allen comes up with it. Across midcourt goes Jordan, drives in. Layup with the left hand is short, and the whistle blows. A foul's called. Allen took a hard tumble to the floor. I believe he'll get free throws as the foul goes against Tarpey. It's his first, the team's 5th.
All of a sudden, the pace of this game has picked up immensely. If you remember the opening possessions for both teams, they used a lot of that shot clock. And Hofstra, in their last couple of possessions, have almost not used enough of the shot clock. Nesmith missed a layup on the last possession. We saw Upshaw travel on one. And now both teams very quickly going back and forth.
Jordan Allen just 38% from the free throw line this year. The first one is up and out. However, he's been marginally better as of late. He's 20 for his last 37, including that miss over his last 6 games. His previous 5, 1 for 19. A couple of substitutions for Hofstra. Robinson comes in, so it's Robinson, Waconi, Upshaw, Allen, and Nesmith. The second one from Allen is up. That one's good. 1 for 2 from the line is Jordan. He has 5. 29-25, the Pride lead. 4.5 to play here in half number 1.
Those have been his Achilles heel all season long, especially in crunch time.
Up top, it's Julian Boatner. Bounce pass left of the key for Sean Sheldon, who checked in for William & Mary. He came in for Rusthoven. Gaylord hands off to Tarpey. Works his way around right side. It's Marcus Thornton. He's been, for the most part, held in check. Jordan Allen stripped him when he wasn't looking. 1-on-2 is Allen. Goes around Sheldon. He laid it in with the left hand. Turning defense into offense. Jordan Allen a spark for the Pride. It's 31-25 Hofstra. Under 4 to play in the first half, their largest lead.
And that's the player he needs to be for Hofstra. That's where he's most comfortable. Those are his favorite plays.
Thornton never saw it coming. He turned his head. Now he has it on a skip pass. Right wing 3 is good. That's what the best players in the conference do. They turn it over, and then they make a good play out of it. 31-28. Hofstra leads, 3.5 left in the first half. Robinson, right wing side, dribbles to the top of the key. Now goes in with the left hand, jump stops at the baseline. Floater from 16 feet. Was short, doesn't matter, he walked. 5th Hofstra turnover. Try basketball when we come back. 3:25 to play in the first half. Hofstra up 31-28 over William & Mary. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. 2 other conference games are currently in progress. In Maryland, CAA Player of the Week Jarrell Benneman and the Towson Tigers are hosting the Northeastern Huskies. The Tigers look to notch their 5th straight victory, but Towson is trailing Northeastern 25-14 with just about 5 minutes left in the first half. Also underway, the UNCW Seahawks are in South Carolina to face the College of Charleston Cougars. The Seahawks are 0-5 in conference play and look to snap a 9-game losing streak. With just under 5 minutes left in the opening half, the College of Charleston is leading 25-19. With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. Now to send back to the guys on site, Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen, and Kerry Schreiber.
Hey, this is Chris Jenkins, shooting guard of your Hofstra Pride men's basketball team, and you're listening to all the action live on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride men's basketball on 88.7 FM WRHU and WRHU.org.
Hofstra's had the lead for about the last 8 minutes, 3:25 to play here in half number 1. They lead William & Mary 31-28 here at the Mack. Rob Joyce, Mark Person, Kerry Schreiber inside the Hofstra huddle.
Thanks, guys. Earlier before the game, Mark and I talked to Coach Mihalik, and he said that the key to success for this game would be defense. And on the bench, we could hear Mike Farrelly yelling to them, guard up, guard up. So that's exactly what they need to do for the remainder of this game in order to keep it close and take the lead and keep the lead. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Kerry. And Hofstra offensively shooting 57%, 12 of 21. Defensively, they're holding William & Mary, very good offensive team, 40% shooting, including 5 of 11 from deep. So they're not entirely getting it done on the defensive end, at least from three-point land, which is where William & Mary's most deadly.
Well, the thing is, for Hofstra, their defense is only as good as their offense. Now, right now, their defense is keeping them in the game, so it's okay that they're giving up a three-pointer every now and then to William & Mary, but Hofstra's offense doesn't have much wiggle room, and that's one of the things that coach has been saying all year long. They don't have much wiggle room on either end.
Marcus Thornton down the left baseline, tries to reverse layup over Jordan Allen and Stephen Walcone, and he lost the basketball. Thornton had a wide open lane, then Hofstra collapsed immediately. Chris Jenkins comes in for Hofstra, will reset the lineups. It's Jordan Allen, Dion Nesmith, Chris Jenkins, Zeke Upshaw, Stephen Walcone for Hofstra, going from left to right. Marcus Thornton, Sean Sheldon, Julian Boatner, Terry Tarpey, and Kyle Gaylord out there for William & Mary. Jenkins has it top of the key. He has 3 points in this first half, gives off to Dion Nesmith. Goes through his legs, hands off to Jenkins. Now he works his way right side, stops top of the key, gives back to Nesmith. Bounces inside, right block for Allen, got double teamed momentarily. Spins to his right, misses the bunny, and the rebound goes to Sean Sheldon. Thornton looked for a long pass, then thought better of it. He's up top. Goes to the left wing side for Tarpey, fakes a three, bursts to the baseline. His pass hit the bottom of the rim as he looked for Boatner in the corner. It's stolen away by Allen. Third William & Mary turnover. Driving inside is Nesmith. Lays it up at the right hand. No, the rebound deflected to Marcus Thornton. Thornton guarded by Jordan Allen. Hofstra in the man-to-man. They find Boatner. 25 feet out on the right side. Up top for Sheldon. Gives it right back to Boatner. Swung around to Gaylord. Now up top it's Tarpey. Guarded by Allen. 17 on the shot clock. Right elbow, it's Sheldon. Gives off to Thornton. Thornton, fadeaway three, top of the key off the side of the rim. He didn't need it. He had time. Zeke Upshaw with the rebound. Thornton just 2 of 6 to start off. He has 6 points, as both of his field goals are from long range. He also has 4 assists. In the left corner, Upshaw, 3-ball on the way. That one off the side of the rim and out. Stephen Walcone skies for the rebound. Bulls on Sheldon, but can't get the rebound to go. Hofstra wanted a foul. They're not going to get it. Tarpey back the other way. Stops up top to Boatner. Left of the key, 3 on the way. Good. 2 threes for Julian Boatner, makes up for all 6 of his points. We're knotted up at 31, 90 seconds to play in the half. Joe Mihalik shaking his head. And he'll call a timeout because of it. Hofstra led by as many as 6, but William & Mary, they have 6 threes in the first half. That's really how they're staying in it. They're on a 6-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. They've tied up this one up.
Their ability to shoot the 3-ball has essentially carried them all season long, and right now they're on a 6-0 run. Hofstra, on the other end, has missed its last 4 field goal attempts. So offensively, Hofstra struggling a little bit these last few minutes, maybe working a little too quickly than they need to, although Stephen Walcone did miss that putback. There was not a foul called. But on the other end, William & Mary has been making their shots. Thornton has found a few open three-pointers. He sank a couple of them, but him and Boatner, those are the 2 big three-point shooters on this team, and really in this conference that you have to be aware of.
The magic number for William & Mary is 70. It's pretty simple. They're 9-1 when they score more than 70 points. They're 1-5 when they score fewer. Right now they're on pace for a shade under that. Hofstra has the basketball, moving from left to right. Full shot clock to work with. 75 seconds left, 75 seconds left in the half. Up top, it's Jordan Allen, holds over his head, dribbles once, hands off to Jenkins, fumbled the pass, but he got it back, finds Nesmith, left wing 3, rattles home. 5 threes for Hofstra in this first half for Nesmith. That's his second. He has 9 total. 34-31. Hofstra retakes the lead, a minute to play in the half.
And Rob, 70 has been Hofstra's magic number 2. They only have 1 win this season while scoring less than that, and it came at UNCW. They had 69.
Inside, they try to find Rusthoven. A foul is going to be called. If that's on Walcone, it will be. That's his first. It's the team's 5th. So a reset shot clock. It's about a 14-second differential between shot and game clock for William & Mary. The inbound will be at the baseline as before the referee even has the ball. William & Mary sets up their play. Gaylord all alone, he slams. Hofstra looked entirely lost. You could not have been more wide open than Gaylord was. It's 34-33 Hofstra.
They weren't ready. Didn't look like they were ready to defend the inbound. Stephen Waconi, all he had to do was step to his right into the lane to at least try and contest that shot. He didn't even move.
8-second differential between shot and game clock. Driving inside is Upshaw, he got stripped. Waconi had it momentarily, lost it. Rusthoven has it for William & Mary. Shot clock turned off, 18 seconds left in the half, and Tony Shaver will take the use it or lose it timeout. Now the referees are going to confer. The clock says 14.8. There was definitely more time.
They got to add a couple more seconds. It kept running after the whistle was called, so expect about 16 to 17 seconds for the clock to be reset to. Hofstra's playing very disorganized right now, and I think Coach Mihalik is a little frustrated by that because that inbounds play for William & Mary couldn't have been more wide open, and it just didn't look like Hofstra was ready to defend the basketball. It's like they didn't even know that the ball was about to be inbounded.
Typically, when the referee hands the player the basketball, that's when they'll start their set. Sometimes you see them slap the basketball. William & Mary started it a good second before the referee handed it, and I think Hofstra just did not expect it. They had no idea what to do with it.
It just threw them off, and even on that last possession offensively for Hofstra, they looked a little jittery right now. The last 18, they reset the clock to 18.2. So these last few seconds, Hofstra's been looking a little uncomfortable on the floor for the first time tonight.
William & Mary, with the shot clock turned off, has a chance to take the lead heading into the halftime break. They have the inbound at the far sideline. Goes into the backcourt for Omar Pruitt. He'll stand out near midcourt, 12 on the game clock. Getting all sorts of room. Pruitt still standing there. Now he works with 8 to shoot. Up top, it's Rusthoven. Top of the key, dribbles once, looks for Pruitt with 4 seconds left. Up top, Pruitt drives inside. The finger roll is an air ball. Waconi comes away with the rebound, and that's how the first half will end, but not before. Pruitt and Jordan Allen are both on the ground in pain. Pruitt writhed around for a second before hopping back up. Jordan Allen has barely moved. He's moving his legs. But now the trainer, Evan Mailings, is out there to look at him. He's holding his eyes as if his head is hurting. Now Joe Mihalik tells the players to work their way out. We'll get an update as soon as we can, but right now, Carrie Schreiber standing by in front of the Hofstra bench with assistant Mike Farrelly.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Rob. You guys lead by 1 going into halftime. What did you see in the first half?
Our defense, for the most part, was pretty good. We're trying to get a lot of switches going, and the switches have been pretty good. A couple of slip-ups, and I think we've allowed them to shoot too many threes. They really rely on the three-point shot, and we've allowed them to take too many three-point attempts. So that's one thing we need to limit a little bit better in the second half.
So how are you going to be able to limit those three-point shots?
I think staying with our man just a little bit and realizing where the shooters are, realizing who we can help off of, making that recognition a little bit better, getting back in transition and finding those guys. They got a couple easy looks just running up the court on us, hitting somebody and getting a three.
And now how else are you going to be able to maintain a better lead in the second half?
Yeah, you know, the defense and the rebounding's got to got to improve a little bit, and then the offense. I think we got some things going. We got the ball inside a little bit. We started to drive the ball. But we also got a little wild. Them going zone affected us a little bit as well. So we'll talk about some zone offense at halftime and get ready to beat it in the second half.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thanks, Carrie. Meanwhile, Jordan Allen, it looks like he has a bloody nose, as that's what the coaches are. They're gripping the gauze on top of it. Mark, you had a chance to look at a replay.
I just looked at the replay, and as Pruitt was coming down after the basketball, after the shot was missed, he and Allen collided. I think Allen hit Pruitt's elbow, and when Allen hit Pruitt's elbow, Pruitt's arm went right into his own head, and that's why he was on the ground, so he knocked himself in the head. But that's what happened with Allen. He collided with Pruitt as they were both coming down.
As there is blood on the floor, so they're going to have to clean that up. Meanwhile, the basketball game that's supposed to go on at halftime will have to move to the other side for now. Hofstra leads at the half, 34-33. The Pride shoot an even 50% from the floor, 13 of 26, 5 of 10 from 3, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, 50% all around in the first 20 minutes for Hofstra. Meanwhile, William & Mary shoots 42% for the half, just 6 points for Marcus Thornton on 2 of 6 shooting. But Thornton hasn't starred, Mark, but it seems they're getting a little bit of production from everyone, kind of like what SMU did to a lesser extent on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. They're playing as a full team on defense. They're not relying on one player. And for Hofstra, that could be lethal because we've seen their defense struggle a lot this season in keeping teams away from that 70 or 80 point mark while at the same time trying to score up around those numbers as well. I think what we've seen from Hofstra for the most part in the first half is good, and they have the lead. Zeke Upshaw and Dion Nesmith both look like they're on top of their games, especially on offense. That's a good thing for Hofstra, especially to see from Nesmith with 9 points at the half.
Yeah, Nesmith 9 points, 5 assists, no turnovers. That's the big number there. Upshaw 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting. He didn't have a point though the last 10 minutes. 6 rebounds and also 3 turnovers as he continues to be unable to take care of the basketball. After 20 minutes, Hofstra leads 34-33. That'll do it here from the Mack for now. Stay tuned. Halftime edition of the Locker Room. Mark Weiner, Andrew Fertitta, Nick Velastro with stats, highlights, analysis, and much more in the coming minutes. For now, for Mark Prusen and Kerry Schreiber, I'm Rob Joyce. Mark, take it away.
All right, thanks, Mr. Joyce. A back and forth half at the Mack between Hofstra and William and Mary. We'll break it down. Stats, highlights, and analysis coming up in the halftime edition of the Locker Room.
Long Island's largest radio news team brings you the Associated Press award-winning program, Newsline. Weekdays at 5:30 p.m. A half hour of local news by award-winning Hofstra student broadcasters. Exclusively on WRHU-FM and WRHU.org, Radio Hofstra University.
Tune in to The Coach's Show every Tuesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Go inside the minds of your favorite Hofstra coaches.
This is Joe Mihalik, head coach of your Hofstra Pride men's basketball team.
Hey, this is Coach Krista Kilburn-Staveski of your Hofstra Pride women's basketball team.
On The Coach's Show, only on your home for Hofstra Sports, 88.7 FM, WRHU.
With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. 2 other conference games are currently in progress. In Maryland, CAA Player of the Week Jarrell Benneman and the Towson Tigers are hosting the Northeastern Huskies. The Tigers look to notch their 5th straight victory, but Towson is trailing Northeastern 40-19 heading into halftime. Also underway, the UNCW Seahawks are in South Carolina to face the College of Charleston Cougars. The Seahawks are 0-5 in CAA play and look to snap a 9-game losing streak. But with the first half complete, the College of Charleston is leading 30-23. Moving over to some top 25 action now, top-ranked Arizona will host Colorado tomorrow night at 9. Meanwhile, on Saturday, number 2 Syracuse will travel to Miami for a 1 o'clock tip-off. Also on Saturday, 2 Big Ten teams will square up at 7 p.m. Third-seeded Michigan State will host number 21 Michigan. Moving to some Hofstra Pride athletics now. On the women's side of the court, after a pair of losses last weekend to the Cougars and Dukes, the women's basketball team will ship it up to Boston tomorrow night to face another conference foe, the Northeastern Huskies. The pregame edition of the Locker Room will be at 6:45, taking you up to tip-off at 7 on 1490 WGCH. And from the court to the ice, Monday afternoon, the Islanders defeated the Flyers in a shootout 4-3. And then last night, the Isles faced another division rival, the Rangers, at Madison Square Garden. The Isles were down 2 goals early in the game, but came back to defeat the Blue Shirts 5-3. With the win, the Isles now have back-to-back come-from-behind victories against division foes this week. They hope to keep their momentum going when they welcome in the Penguins tomorrow night at 7:30 on the Radio Hofstra University Islanders Network. And finally, some news in the MLB. Earlier this morning, it was announced that the Japanese phenom Masahiro Tanaka has signed with the Yankees. The 25-year-old righty has agreed to a 7-year deal worth $155 million. With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik, now sent back inside the halftime edition of the Locker Room with Mark Weiner, Nick Velastro, and Andrew Fertitta.
This is Jamal Robinson, guard of your Hofstra Pride men's basketball team, and you're listening to All the Action Live on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride men's basketball on 88.7 FM, WRHU, and WRHU.org.
And a welcome inside the halftime edition of the Locker Room on 88.7 FM, WRHU, and worldwide in high definition on WRHU.org. I'm Mark Weiner alongside my panelists Andrew Fertitta and Nick Velastro. Hofstra leading the William and Mary Tribe 34-33 after a half of play. And Andrew and Nick, what are your opening thoughts on this first half?
Well, right now, Zeke Upshaw has been really impressive for the Pride so far. 11 points, 6 rebounds, and he is really the catalyst for this team so far. Him and Dion Nesmith are leading the way. But if you're looking at it for William and Mary, they're getting scoring from all of their team through the bench. This team is really deep right now.
You hit the nail on the head there. You hit the nail on the head there, Nick. I like the way Hofstra is playing, but I don't know if they can continue the shootout the way they're going. 34-33, 7 points from Jordan Allen, another 3 from Jenkins, and Wakoni with 4 points. But if you look at the numbers, as you said, off the bench from William and Mary, They have 10 to Hofstra's 3, and Hofstra's doing a pretty good job right now. 6-4 on the turnover margin.
Let's get you some of the highlights from that first half. Hofstra looking for its third straight victory within the Colonial against the William and Mary Tribe. In less than a minute in, Brandon Britt gave the Tribe the early lead.
Faking it up top is Britt, finds Tarpey left of the key, 8 to shoot. Hands off to Rustoven, Gaylord gives off to Britt, 4 to shoot, top of the key. Britt has to do something, he forces up a fadeaway 3 at the shot clock and he hits it. First start of the year for Brandon Britt, he scores first. It's 3-0 William and Mary a minute in.
Then about a minute goes by without any buckets. Dion Nesmith gets the Pride on the board.
Nesmith drives right, goes into the lane on Rustoven, he lays it up, banks it off glass, good, and the foul. Dion Nesmith stands at exactly 6 feet, taking on 6'9" Rustoven. Draws a three-point play, the chance to tie, 2:20 in.
Back and forth, the two teams would go for a few possessions to make it 8-5 until Zeke Upshaw for 3.
Right wing side, Zeke Upshaw crosses over, pulls up right of the key, 3 on the way, rattles home. First 3 for Zeke Upshaw, he has 6. It's 8-8. Here's 6 minutes in.
Then Marcus Thornton would answer right back with a 3 of his own to make it 11-8, but then Zeke Upshaw at it again.
Driving inside is Jamal Robinson, kick out. Right wing 3 from Upshaw on the way, it's good. Zeke Upshaw already with 9 points, 2 threes. Pride down 1, 13-12, nearly 8 minutes in.
Upshaw would make a jumper on the next Hofstra possession to give him 11 points just 8 minutes into the game. Then around the midway point, Jordan Allen made 2 straight buckets, topped off by this one.
Dion Nesmith has it to the elbow for Allen. Tries to back down Pruitt. Spins on him, lays it up with the right-handed in. Omar Pruitt, no match for Jordan Allen down low. 18-15. This is the Jordan Allen that we've seen 3 of the last 4 games when he had double figures in all of them.
And then the leading scorer from the SMU game, Chris Jenkins, with 14 in SMU. He gave the Pride their largest lead of the night.
Jenkins left of the key 3. Nothing but net over Marcus Thornton. Chris Jenkins immediately makes an impact. Already 5 threes for Hofstra. It's 24-18. Scratch that, make it 4 threes for the Pride.
More back and forth between the two squads, but then as the half winded down, the Tribe went on a 6-0 run to tie it up at 31, capped off by Julian Boatman.
Tarpey back the other way. Stops up top to Boatner. Left of the key 3 on the way. Good. 2 threes for Julian Boatner, makes up for all 6 of his points. We're knotted up at 31, 90 seconds to play in the half. Joe Mihalik shaking his head.
Just seconds later, Dion Nesmith made a 3, giving Hofstra the lead back 34-31, but then Hofstra got caught napping.
It's about a 14-second differential between shot and game clock for William and Mary. The inbound will be at the baseline as before the referee even has the ball. William and Mary sets up their play. Gaylord all alone, he slams. Hofstra looked entirely lost. You could not have been more wide open than Gaylord was. It's 34-33 Hofstra.
And that's how the half would end. Hofstra, the 1-point lead over the William and Mary Tribe, 34-33, as I'll bring back on my panelists, Andrew Fertitta and Nick Wilashter here inside the halftime edition of the Locker Room. And guys, we've seen this before. Hofstra with a 1-point lead or lead going into half all season long, and they haven't been able to play very well in the second half. Now, they've done a little better early in conference season, but what do they have to do in the second half to maybe extend this lead and get the win?
I think they have to keep up the pressure on Marcus Thornton. They've done a really good job keeping him at 6 points, but if they're going to be able to quiet him down, because you don't know if these guys like Rustov and Gaillard are going to be able to keep up the performance where they're adding 5 to 3 points in the first half. So if you can keep up the defensive intensity, I think Hofstra can be good for the second half.
Now, Thornton hasn't really shown what he has in the first half, and Omar Pruitt was really shut down in the first half. That was someone I said going into this game that they should watch out for. He hasn't no points, but for the Pride, you just have to try and contain this team as much as possible. You know how deadly they are with shooting, and you could tell that they are trying to get up as much shots as possible with the amount of shooting that they are distributing. I mean, right now, you're talking about field goal-wise, Hofstra is shooting 50% from the field, so it's going to be tough to maintain that going into the second half.
Get you some of the stats from the first half. Hofstra shooting 50, 50, and 50. Field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage. William Mary, 42% from the field, 46% from beyond the arc, and 33% from the charity stripe rebounding battle. Hofstra has the lead by 18-17, and then if you look at Hofstra's numbers, their personal numbers, Zeke Upshaw leads the team with 11 points, 4 from 8 from the field, and Dion Nesmith right behind him with 9 points and 3 for 6 from the field. Over on William and Mary, a couple players tied with 6 points, Boatner and Thornton. So guys, as Nick and Andrew, what do you see from Hofstra in the second half? There's a lot of different William and Mary players that are being able to score. There's been not that one player that's been able to kind of light it up on the scoreboard. So what do you think Hofstra's been successful at stopping William and Mary so far?
Well, I think they're trying to make them move the ball around. They're not giving anyone an open chance. They're forcing them to go to other options. And just for William and Mary, they've been shooting pretty well, 42% from the field. So their shots are going in, but they are forcing other players to try and take the shots. They're not going to focus on one person, so they're making them trying to distribute the ball. For William and Mary, they will make their shots, but for the most part, I have to say you have to be pretty proud of the Pride.
Oh, absolutely. Hofstra's done a great job. You see, they're averaging 11 threes a game. They're 6 for 13 in the first half. If you can keep up that intensity and keep them pressed on the outside at the arc, then Hofstra probably will bode well for the second half. But you need more scoring from other places. You see, points off the bench for William and Mary. Thornton with 6, Sheldon with 4. I mean, Thornton was not on the bench, but Boatner with 6. And you look at Hofstra, there's only 3 points off the bench right now. If you can do a better job of spreading out the scoring for the second half, it should go well for Hofstra.
All right, guys, Hofstra with a 34-33 lead at half. And before we send it back over to the Mack, where Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen, and Kerry Schreiber will have all the second half action, what are your locker room keys to the second half?
Well, I'm kind of going to jump off of what you said. For the Pride, it's a matter of getting points off the bench. Jenkins only has 3 points. That's the only points you have off the bench so far. If Hofstra's going to pull away from this one and maintain this lead, it's a matter then of getting points off the bench.
And for me, it's keeping that turnover margin close. It's 6 to Hofstra, 4 to William Mary's 4. If they can keep it close and not give them too many fast break points off turnovers, Hofstra should be able to keep it in the second half.
Once again, Hofstra with a 34-33 lead over William and Mary at the half. That'll do it for us here inside the halftime edition of the Locker Room. Right now, we'll send it back across Hempstead Turnpike to the Mack Sports Complex, where Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen, and Kerry Schreiber will have all the second half action between the Pride and the Tribe. For my panelists, Andrew Fertitta and Nick Velastro, I'm Mark Weiner. We'll see you after the game, but for now, Rob, take it away.
Long Island's largest radio news team brings you lively talk about Long Island life, national news, and international issues. It's Hofstra's Morning Wake Up Call. Weekday mornings, 7 till 9 a.m., exclusively on WRHU.
Hey, this is Dion Nesmith, point guard of your Hofstra Pride men's basketball team, and you listen to all the action live on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride Men's Basketball on 88.7 FM WRHU and WRHU.org.
Welcome back to the Mack at the half. Hofstra leads William and Mary 34-33. Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen, Kerry Schreiber with you. And Mark, after 20 minutes, Hofstra leads by 1 point. The offense was there for the most part. The defense was there for some of it.
Well, I think it's important to look at the offense for both sides. And one of the storylines, we focused in on Upshaw and Thornton going into this game, the 2 top scorers in the CAA. But how about 2 of the top rookies in the CAA? Both the freshmen, Jamal Robinson for Hofstra and Omar Pruitt for William and Mary. Not a single point between those 2 in the first half.
Both teams 2-1 in the conference. Second half coming up after this, but first we pause 10 seconds for Station ID here on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
Broadcasting from the Hofstra School of Communication, this is the radio home of Hofstra Pride Sports. WRHU-FM Hempstead. Radio Hofstra University.
Hofstra has had a halftime lead in the vast majority of games this year, but they just have not been able to win most of them. They are just 5-7 when they lead at the half. Meanwhile, William and Mary, they are just 2-4 when they trail after 20 minutes. Hofstra in the home whites trimmed in blue and gold. As the 5 out there, the same starting 5, actually not the same starting 5. Musa Kone will be out there. Dion Nesmith, Jamal Robinson, Zeke Upshaw, Stephen Waconi, and Musa Kone. Musa picked up 2 fouls in 5 seconds in the first half. He was limited to 1 minute of action. William and Mary in the road greens trimmed in gold and white. It will be Marcus Thornton, Julian Boatner, Terry Tarpey, Tim Rusthoven, and Kyle Gaylard. They'll move from left to right here in half number 2 as Thornton's guarded by Zeke Upshaw. Thornton had 6 first half points, 2 of 6 shooting. He did not start as he was late to the team meal, he and Omar Pruitt. So not making his first start since his freshman year, is the junior Thornton. He has it into the corner now. Tarpey thought about a three, drives baseline inside of Rusthoven, lays it up with the right hand, just out of the reach of Stephen Walcone, and it's good. Second field goal for Rusthoven. He has 5. 35-34. William & Mary takes the lead.
Don't forget, at the end of the first half, Jordan Allen took a big hit. He was on the floor for a little while. He knocked heads with Omar Pruitt. So Kone out there to start the second half in place of Allen, and I do not see Jordan on the Hofstra bench.
He is not out there for Hofstra. He had a bloody nose at the very least. Upshaw, the floater from 4 feet over. Tarpey is good. Zeke Upshaw was quiet the last 10 minutes of the first half. He was explosive the first half of it. He has 13 points, 36-35, already the 7th lead change of this game. In the left corner, Marcus Thornton all alone. 3-ball on the way with a line drive off the back rim, and now Rusthoven the rebound. Thornton gets a second chance, fakes a 3 in the corner, gets it to Tarpey, gives it right back to Thornton, right in front of Tony Shaver. Thornton with the handoff from Rusthoven, threw it underneath the legs of Boatner out of bounds. Just the 5th William & Mary turnover on the throwaway from the Tribe. The Tribe on the year averaged just under 12 turnovers a game. Hofstra still really can't commit any, or force teams to commit many. Opponents just over 10 turnovers a game against the Pride. Zeke Upshaw, left wing side into the corner. Nesmith, quick trigger on the 3. That one's good. 3 threes for Dion Nesmith. He's in double figures with 12. 11th time this year he's reached the 10-point plateau. 39-35, Hofstra up by 4. 90 seconds into the half.
Dion coming off an 11-point effort.
All of those came in the second half in the loss to SMU. Right block gets Rusthoven. Backs down Walcone. Layup with the right hand is good. Rusthoven starting to heat up. He has 7. 39-37. Remember, last year Rusthoven had 17 and 16 in the second meeting between these two teams. A William & Mary win at Kaplan Arena. Foul line extended left side. Upshaw swung around to Robinson right side. Takes the high screen from Walcone at the top of the key. Finds Nesmith. Whips left, now goes right up top. He dribbles to the right elbow. Inside for Kone. He lost possession of it. Got it back, laid it up with the left hand, and it fell in. Musa Kone's first points of the night. Hofstra up by 4 with a chance to make it 5. 41-37, 2 minutes into the half.
Well, this is important for Hofstra to maintain and extend this lead at the start of the second half. They've had more than just a handful of leads at halftime this season, but the problem is they only have 6 wins, and these have been the minutes, these opening minutes of the second half where Hofstra has struggled, and when the second half has started to turn, Kone hits the free throw.
He has 3. The foul is on Julian Boatner, his team's first of the half. 42-37 Hofstra. Boatner swung around left wing side. There's Tarpey there with it over to Gaylord. His pass nearly stolen away by Kone. It is stolen, but Musa hit the sideline. Much of the Hofstra bench yelling at the referees. Joe Mahalik clapping at the effort from Musa as he tipped the pass but just couldn't stay inbounds. Inbound for William & Mary, and because Kone technically had full possession of it, a fresh 35 for the Tribe. Boatner has it. Out near midcourt, it's Marcus Thornton. Hofstra extending that defense out. Thornton top of the key. 3-ball on the way is long off the back of the rim. Rusthoven tried to tip the rebound. No, but the third try is good. 6 points already this half for Rusthoven, 9 in all. 42-39 Hofstra. Nesmith between the circles, right wing side for Robinson. Holds out the right hip. High screen from Darren Payne, who came in for Stephen Walcone. Lost it, got it back, did Robinson. Hesitates over to Nesmith, right side, away from the play. Darren Payne got shoved to the floor. Foul's going to go against Rusthoven, his second. Team's second. Fresh 35 for Hofstra at the baseline, 17:06 to play. Robinson 0 of 2 from the field today. He has no points. He's been quiet the last couple of games. 7 points or fewer in 4 of his last 6.
Yeah, 8 points between the last 2 games. And, you know, we had been talking about him for a while as one of the steadiest players on Hofstra.
Darren Payne, right corner, deep 2 off the side of the rim and out. Rebound skied for by a couple of Hofstra players, but William & Mary comes away with it via Tarpey. Up top, it's Thornton. All alone, Gaylord for 3. That one's back rim, no. He was wide open on the right wing side. And Upshaw with the rebound. He'll take it himself to Zeke. Bounce pass to Nesmith. Swung around inside for Payne. Drives in, lays it up with the right hand off the front of the rim. No, the rebound. Kone mistimed the jump a little bit, still able to get the layup to go. Musa has 5 all this half. Hofstra up 5, 3.5 into the half.
Joe Mihalik says all the time that sometimes the best baskets are the second chance baskets, and Kone taking advantage of that right there. That is one of his biggest strengths.
Thornton right elbow got it stripped, nearly stolen away. Kone dives to keep it in play, but he can't as he goes tumbling into the William & Mary bench. So it'll be try basketball. A couple of substitutions. Julian Boatner leaves, as does Gaylord. Britt comes in, as does Omar Pruitt for William & Mary. Still no sign of Jordan Allen. For now, he's out. That head injury. William & Mary swings it around right corner. Omar Pruitt all alone for three. He missed it short. Robinson comes away with the rebound. His second. Smith slows things up as he crosses into the front court. Next whistle, Sean Sheldon will come in for William & Mary. As Zeke Upshaw has a foul line extended left side. High screen from Darren Payne. Burst inside on Thornton. Banks it off glass, no good. But he draws the contact. Free throws coming for Zeke Upshaw as Thornton gets drawn for the personal. When we return, 15:54 to play here at the Mack. 44-39. Hofstra leads William & Mary. You're listening to Hofstra Men's Basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
Long Island's largest radio news team brings you the Associated Press award-winning program, Newsline. Weekdays at 5:30 p.m. A half hour of local news by award-winning Hofstra student broadcasters. Exclusively on WRHU-FM and WRHU.org, Radio Hofstra University.
Islanders fans have an edge. Islanders Edge, the weekly half-hour magazine radio show dedicated to all things Islanders. All things Islanders. Exclusive interviews with players, candid comments from the coach, breaking news, up-to-the-minute stats, and much, much more. Everyone loves an edge. Now you have it. Islanders Edge. Friday nights at 6:30, exclusively on the flagship radio station for your New York Islanders, 88.7 FM, Radio Hofstra University.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride Men's Basketball on 88.7 FM, WRHU, and WRHU.org.
15:54 to play. Hofstra leads William & Mary 44-39 here at the Mack. William & Mary, one of the best offenses in the CAA, but there is a way to stop them if you execute successfully. From where we go to Carrie Schreiber.
Thanks, guys. The key to stopping the William & Mary Tribe today will be the Pride's defense. And that's what Coach Mihalik had talked to us before the game about. And he wants to make sure that they keep guarding up and blocking all of their shots. Thanks. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Carrie. The Tribe 3 of 8 shooting here to open up the second half. 0 of 4 from deep. Marcus Thornton in particular has just 6 points on 2 of 8 shooting. He's had a couple of open looks, but for the most part, he hasn't been that much of a factor.
No, he's coming off a 20-point effort, so 6 points. Almost 5 minutes into the second half. A little surprising to see from Thornton, but William & Mary has done a good job of compensating. Rostovin's got his points up to 9, but they have a handful of other point scorers. Just 2 guys who have appeared in this game haven't scored. Omar Pruitt is one of them, and the Tribe is missing his defense right now. His contribution could be what pushes William & Mary over the top in this game. But at the same time, look at Hofstra's side. Jamal Robinson hasn't scored at all either. The first free throw is no good from Upshaw. Either one of those two could put the team over the top offensively.
Thornton second in the CAA in scoring, just under 19 points a game. The man in front of him, Zeke Upshaw, at the free throw line. He has 13 points tonight, make it 14. He hits 1 of 2 free throws. 45-39 Hofstra. 6 points, tied for their largest lead of the ball game with under 16 minutes to play. Brandon Britt has it for William & Mary, crosses midcourt. It's Britt, Marcus Thornton, Sheldon, Pruitt, and Tarpey, the 5 out there for the Tribe. Thornton has it swung around left wing side for Tarpey. Dribbles it back up top for Britt, and he throws it away. Miscommunication. He expected Britt to go to the wing. He never did. 7th William & Mary turnover. Already the 3rd this half for the Tribe. And Hofstra will take over.
Miscommunication. We'll see if Hofstra can take advantage of it, because William & Mary is a team that keeps their turnover numbers down.
For Hofstra, it's Darren Payne, Musa Kone, Jamal Robinson, Zeke Upshaw, Dion Nesmith. It's Payne at the left wing side between the circles for Robinson. One-on-one with Pruitt. Bursts inside, lays it up with the right hand. Way too strong. Might have expected contact. Pruitt comes away with the rebound. Stops at the foul line, lost it, got it back. Swung around to the corner for Britt. He drives inside and comes up limp. A foul is going to be called on Hofstra. It's going to go against Musa Kone, his 3rd. Britt comes up limp. Doesn't look like Tony Shaver's going to make a move. Hofstra will. Stephen Waconi will check in as Kone picks up his 3rd personal. Inbound for William & Mary as Britt appears to be okay. The inbound goes into the far corner for Sheldon. Gives it off to Pruitt. He's double teamed, now drives baseline. Inside, tries to force up a layup, went behind the backboard, off the baseline, out of bounds. Nothing going for Omar Pruitt today. He's 0 of 5 shooting. 3 rebounds, 2 assists for the freshman out of Kentucky. Pruitt leads all freshmen in the conference in scoring at 13.5 points a game and rebounds with 5 on the dot. Nesmith on the pick and roll, tried to find Waukoni, no good, and then sliding for a loose ball, takes out Brandon Britt. Well, if Britt wasn't hurt before, he may be hurt now. Somehow he gets back up. That's a dangerous play from Nesmith. I understand trying to dive after a loose ball, but he essentially slid out the legs, almost like a runner in baseball trying to take a end of double play.
Well, Britt took an awfully hard hit to the floor, and his body was almost twisted, as he had to prevent himself from hitting up against the press table that we're sitting at.
First foul on Nesmith, the team's second of the half. We're just over 5 minutes in. Hofstra up by 6. Up top, it's Britt. There's no ill effects from the hard fall. Goes right wing side for Pruitt. To the elbow for Sheldon. Sheldon dribbles a couple of times, gives off to Marcus Thornton left side. Now carries it straight away. Swung around back to Tarpey. Bounces left block for Sheldon, guarded by Payan. 10 to shoot. Up top, it's Britt. Dribbles with the left hand, now switch it to the right. Goes inside, lays it up. A high arcing shot is good, but they're going to wave it off. They're going to say a foul before the shot. Tony Shaver disagrees with it. Either way, it's going to be an inbound. It's going to go against Hofstra, against Robinson, his first, the team's third.
Shaver probably wants some continuation on that, but I believe they blew the whistle. He's closer to the free throw line.
So this time, Britt burst right down the middle of the lane, but missed the bunny. And then gets it back at midcourt as Jamal Robinson got stripped. 2-on-1 for William & Mary. Pruitt lays it up with the right hand. He can't buy anything. He missed another layup. Rebound goes to Hofstra. It was a nice feed from Britt. Pruitt just couldn't finish. 6 minutes into the half. Hofstra still up by 6. Up top, it's Nesmith. Goes into the right corner for Upshaw. Guarded by Marcus Thornton. Fakes a 3. Now drives inside. Double teamed as he jumped for a layup, handed off to Waukoni, muscles up the layup too strong, Payan the rebound, gives off to Robinson, fakes a left corner 3, and Hofstra will reset. 10 to shoot as the shot clock never reset. Robinson hits a left corner 3. First field goal for Jamal Robinson in the game. Hofstra, their largest lead at 9, it's 48-39, 13 and a half left.
Some much needed offense for the Pride. If they can develop that third scorer next to Upshaw and Nesmith.
Now Robinson steals a pass. Jamal Robinson starting to pick things up. Nesmith will start the offense. Up top for Stephen Waukoni. Hofstra a chance to go up by double digits. Into the left corner, Upshaw all alone for 3, and it's good. Third 3 for Zeke Upshaw. He has a game-high 17. Hofstra up by a dozen, 51-39. Tony Shaver needs a chat.
Hofstra now has 8 3-pointers in this game. William & Mary, the best 3-point shooting team in the CAA, has just 6.
Hofstra on a 9-0 run over the last 3.5 minutes. They've extended the lead now to 12. William & Mary has missed a couple of layups. They've been given plenty of opportunities. I don't think Hofstra's defense has made that many changes. William & Mary right now, they're just cold.
They've turned the ball over on their last 4 possessions. They haven't hit, they haven't made a field goal in their last 4 possessions. William & Mary is just struggling right now. It's almost like what we saw from Hofstra in that final minute of the first half, where they were turning the basketball over as well. They weren't ready on that one inbound play, but now we're seeing something similar from William & Mary. The basket by Jamal Robinson, for him to contribute on offense, is so important, because up until that point, it didn't seem like either he or Pruitt could buy points tonight. You said it best when Pruitt missed that layup under his own basket. So whichever freshman can get involved in the offense, that team, odds are, is going to be the more successful one. But for Robinson to contribute to this 9-0 run for Hofstra is so important, because now there's energy on the Hofstra bench.
Hofstra 2-1 in the CAA. 3-1 would be their third best start since they joined the conference over a decade ago. The 2010-2011 team, Charles Jenkins' senior year, they started 5-0. 06-07, they also started 5-0. In both years, they finished 14-4 in the conference. William & Mary, they're an original CAA squad. The 3-1 start would also be one of their better starts in the CAA, as their best start is 6-1. They've done 3-1 5 different times, most recently the 09-10 season.
And if Hofstra is able to start 3-1. They're picked 9th in the Colonial. If they could start 3-1, where 3 of their first 4 opponents were top 5 teams in the conference, William and Mary, Charleston, and Delaware, that would be huge for this program.
Hofstra lost to Delaware to open things up, beat Charleston, College of Charleston and UNCW. William and Mary beat Drexel to start things off, lost at Delaware, and then most recently took it to JMU at home, 78-56. They beat the Dukes. William and Mary has the basketball down by a dozen. Hofstra on a 9-0 run. Up top, it's Brandon Britt. Hofstra moving to a man-to-man. Boatner, right wing 3 on the way. Back rim, no. Rebound deflected around. Still up in the air. Dion Nesmith comes away with it. 2-on-1 if he hurries. Dion bounces to Zeke Upshaw. Lays it up wildly with the right hand. Way too strong, but he drew a foul on Boatner. He'll go to the free throw line. A 2-on-1 opportunity. Upshaw still has a chance for 2 points, but you'd like a better attempt than that.
It seems like on William and Mary's end, they have tended to be the better rebounding team in just about every game they've played this season. Overall, Hofstra out-rebounding the Tribe 25-22. But doesn't it seem like this entire game they haven't been able to pull down that offensive rebound?
Certainly seems that way. As the first one from Upshaw is up, and it's good. Zeke has 18 from the free throw line. He's now 3 of 4. Joe Mihalik, he said a couple of times the difference has been those 50-50 balls. He doesn't think they win nearly enough of those. Upshaw hits both. He has a game-high 19. 53-39, 11-0 Hofstra run that has spanned 4 minutes. William and Mary has it. It's Daniel Dixon making his second appearance. Boatner, Brandon Britt, Gaylord, and Rusthoven. Thornton will get a break. Britt has it in the right corner, guarded by Payne. Up top for Dixon, guarded by Upshaw to the right elbow for Rusthoven. Holds over his head, up top for Dixon. Thought about a 3 at the left side, now goes straight away. Hands off to Britt. Hofstra fans starting to get into it. 8 to shoot. He drives inside, spins on Jenkins, kick out. Dixon, right wing 3, around, out. Rebound ripped down by Stephen Wacconi, his 7th board of the game. Upshaw the other way, straight away for Wacconi. Rusthoven giving him all sorts of space. Left side for Nesmith. Goes into the corner. Payan, a 3-ball on the way. That is good. Darren Payan with his second 3 on the year. It's a 14-0 Hofstra run, 56-39.
Payan's a guy who's not going to score.
Dixon off the back of the rim and out. Payan with the rebound.
I was saying he's not going to score more than 6 points in a game, but his 6 points come at some of the most opportune times for Hofstra.
Payan has it now, left wing side, up top for Nesmith, guarded by Brandon Britt. 11:18 on the game clock. Nesmith in the corner. Jenkins, right corner 3. Yes! 17-0 the run goes to. Jenkins hits his second 3, making up all 6 of his points. Tony Shaver needs another timeout. The Mack, it's not that full, it's certainly loud. 59-39. Hofstra leads 11:09 left.
Chris Jenkins has 33 made 3-pointers on this season. He's got 39 total field goals. Seems like that's all he's done with this team. Extends the lead to 17-0. There's a ton of energy on Hofstra's side, on Hofstra's bench, in a part of a game where they have been struggling. The second half has been where all of Hofstra's struggles have come. And to extend this lead to 20 with just over 11 minutes to go is very important for Hofstra. They need to find a way to close this game out. There's still a lot of basketball left to play, 11 minutes and 9 seconds. So Hofstra's not a team that can really afford to relax.
William and Mary has missed their last 7 shots. They're just 3 of 13 shooting this half. Marcus Thornton will come back in to provide some offense. Up top, it's Julian Boatner between the circles. Left elbow for Rusthoven. Gives it back to Boatner, and the whistle blows. A foul is going to be called away from the play. As I believe it's going to go against Dion Nesmith. That is against Nesmith. That is his second, the team's 3rd. William and Mary has an inbound when we return. 10:57 to play. Hofstra suddenly up by 20. It's 59-39. They lead the Tribe. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
With With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. Two other conference games are currently in action. In Maryland, CAA Player of the Week Jarrell Benneman and the Towson Tigers are hosting the Northeastern Huskies. The Tigers look to notch their 5th straight victory, but it's not looking so good for Towson as they're trailing Northeastern 43-30 just over 8 minutes into the second half. Also underway, the UNCW Seahawks are in South Carolina to face the College of Charleston Cougars. The Seahawks are 0-5 in CAA play and look to snap a 9-game losing streak. But with over 10 minutes left in the game, the College of Charleston is ahead 44-38. With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. Now let's send back to the guys on site, Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen, and Kerry Schreiber.
Hey, this is Jordan Allen, forward of your Hofstra Pride men's basketball team, and you're listening to all the action live on Hofstra's Pride Sports Network.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride men's basketball on 88.7 FM WRHU and WRHU.org.
It's a 17-0 Hofstra run that has spanned 5.5 minutes. The Pride lead the Tribe 59-39 here at the Mack. Kerry Schreiber was inside the Hofstra huddle. What's gone right?
Thanks, guys. I have an update on Jordan Allen, who suffered a head injury at the end of the first half, and he will not return to tonight's game. Musa Kone started in the lineup for him to start the second half. Thanks. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Kerry. So Allen, who took that shot to the head inadvertently to end the first half, will be done. But Mark, she didn't answer it. You answer it. What's gone right?
Well,
seems everything.
For Hofstra, they're hitting their shots right now, and that's what's important. They forced a couple William and Mary turnovers, got them on their feet. William and Mary playing a little uncomfortable.
Well, Tim Rusthoven made about as easy a layup as you're ever going to get on the pick and roll. He's been the only William and Mary player to score recently. First field goal in about 5.5 minutes for the Tribe. They missed their previous 7 shots. That'll end the run. 59-41, Hofstra leads.
And Rusthoven becomes the first Tribe player to reach double figures.
Darren Payne, his second 3. A little greedy that time, it was short. William and Mary goes the other way. Up top, it's Marcus Thornton. Thornton's joined by Boatner. Gaylord, who takes a deep corner 3, is no good. Rusthoven and Dixon, the 5 out there for William and Mary. For Hofstra, it's Nesmith Jenkins, as Nesmith forces up a runner, no good. Waukone fights for the rebound, goes into the corner, still loose. William and Mary comes up with it. Payne and Upshaw, the other 2 out there for Hofstra. Dixon thought about a spot up 3, won't take it. Left wing side, quickly inside now for Rusthoven. Guarded by Nesmith, realizes he's about 5 inches taller than Nesmith, but misses the 4-footer. Hofstra will wisely slow things up and just tick time off as we surpass the midway point of half number 2, and Hofstra's up 18.
That's all Hofstra needs to do right now. Take their time. They don't have to force shots. They can control the rest of this game.
On the left side, out near midcourt, Upshaw holds, 13 to shoot. Doesn't take a high screen from Waukone. Drives inside, gets double team, gets a pass off at the foul line. Waukone, the jumper switch. Stephen Waukone with 6. Hofstra back up 20, 61-41. That's something we saw in the preseason from Waukone, but really haven't seen much of in the regular season.
That was as good as a free throw. He was wide open and had plenty of time to take that shot.
Right block, Rusthoven. Give and go with Gaylord. Missed the layup. It rolled all the way around a rim and out. Nesmith with the rebound, guarded by Marcus Thornton. Uses Waukone as a screen. Now works it back out near midcourt. Works through the legs a couple of times up top for Waukone as the offense starts. Nesmith gets it back, takes the screen from Waukone. Into the corner, Upshaw, left wing 3, back rim no. And a foul's going to be called on the rebound. It's going to go against William and Mary. I believe it's going to go against Gaylord. Robinson will check in. It will go against Gaylord. That'll be his first, team's 5th. He will leave for William and Mary. Charpy returns. Meanwhile, Robinson checks in for Hofstra for Darren Payne. Right off the inbound, Jenkins right to the key 3. A little greedy, it was short. And chasing down the rebound is Daniel Dixon. The freshman from Great Falls, Virginia, averages 3 points a game. Works it inside to Rusthoven, right block. Falls down to Stephen Waukone, no call. Rusthoven airballed the layup. Chases down, tumbles to the floor to try to keep it in. He won't be able to do so. The 3 won't count. It came well after the whistle from Boatner. Hofstra will take over. Nice hustle from Rusthoven. No avail.
No question. I think tonight Rusthoven has been William and Mary's best player. 11 points and 8 rebounds. Really no one else on the Tribe is even close to that. Thornton still at 6 points.
Rustoven, the senior from Winfield, Illinois. Last year an All-CAA third-teamer, preseason second-teamer, checks out as Sheldon returns for the Tribe. Nesmith has it, left wing side, away from the play. Foul's going to be called. It'll go against the Tribe. That'll be team foul number 6, so every foul after this will be free throws for the Pride. It'll be an inbound at the baseline. It goes against Dixon, his first. Hofstra used a 17-0 run. The second half, they're up by 20. They led by 1 at the halftime break, 34-33. Have stormed out of the gates. They started 5 of 6 from deep to open the half. They're now 0 of 3 since. Jenkins has it, skip pass right wing side for Upshaw. Drives inside to the right block, a bounce pass. The layup is no good for Hofstra, as that was Wacconi who took it. He missed it, but he'll go to the free throw line for 2. Foul goes against Sheldon, and Hofstra's in the bonus with 7 William & Mary fouls.
The Pride as a team tonight have just missed 4 free throws, 7 for 11. Wacconi in his first trip to the line. Not a situation where Hofstra desperately needs free throws. They've got a 20-point lead. It's up to 21 now as Wacconi hits the first, but certainly one of the best runs that Hofstra has gone on all season long. Certainly the best start to a second half we've seen from Hofstra all season long.
Second one is short. 1 of 2 from the line is Steven. His second halves have been nightmares for Hofstra. First 6 minutes was a dream for the Pride tonight. 8 minutes to go. Hofstra up 62-41, and a travel is going to be called on William & Mary. Dixon tried to drive down the left side of the lane and fell. Doesn't agree with the call, but 10 William & Mary turnovers, Hofstra basketball. When we return, 7:57 left. Hofstra up 62-41 over William & Mary. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
WRHU is your home for all things Hofstra sports. We bring you complete coverage of all 17 Pride teams. From the 4 corners of the country,
Here in Spokane, Washington.
Here in Los Angeles, from Tampa, Florida.
In Boston.
to right here in Hempstead,
With you at the Mack Sports Complex. At University Field. Here at James M. Stewart Stadium.
and everywhere in between.
From the KFC Yum Center.
Welcome to James Naismith Court from the Cancun Challenge in Mexico.
For complete game schedules and more information, check out WRHU.org and follow us on Twitter at WRHU Sports.
The Bullpen is where we discuss the week ahead in Hofstra Pride sports. We talk opponents, strategy, and get an inside look with players and coaches. Fridays at 6 on Radio Hofstra University.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride men's basketball on 88.7 FM, WRHU, and WRHU.org.
Welcome back to Mac. Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen with you. 62-41. Hofstra leads William & Mary. They were up 1 at the half. Used a 17-0 run. They've led by as many as 21. Their current lead they have now. Tony Shaver, the head coach of William & Mary, went to UNC, graduated back in 1976, continuing an odd trend for Hofstra recently. From where we go to Carrie Schreiber.
William & Mary's Tony Shaver was a guard on the Tar Heels program, where he played for them from 1972 to 75. He won the award, the Butch Bennett Award, that's for determination, sportsmanship, and sacrifice for the team. He's been using that determination since he started coaching in 2003 for William & Mary as a determination to turn the Tribe into a winning program. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Carrie. So if you missed the start of it, 3 consecutive head coaches that Hofstra have faced have all graduated from North Carolina. In all, they've had 7 or 8 coaches that have graduated from UNC. Dean Smith, back in the day, he knew what he was doing, I'd say.
Yeah, no question. And that's just one of the interesting quirks that Hofstra has had throughout this season. It's been an interesting year for the Pride, a very up and down year, but since CAA play has started, it's been mostly up.
Including tonight, they're up by 21 over William & Mary, under 8 minutes to play. The Pride, the home whites moving from right to left. William & Mary has started to up the defensive pressure, carrying Hofstra 30 feet away from the basket, but Zeke Upshaw with a runner from 6 feet out on the right side surpasses the 20-point mark for the 9th time this year. 64-41, largest Hofstra lead. Right elbow, it's Sean Sheldon for William & Mary up top for Julian Boatner. Swung around Thornton. Thought about a three, now drives inside. Lays it up wildly, goes over the backboard, but a foul is going to be called. I believe it'll go against Nesmith. No, it'll go against Jamal Robinson, team's 5th. Robinson his 2nd. Marcus Thornton with a trip to the free throw line. William & Mary 1 for their last 12, and Thornton has been non-existent in this second half. He's 2 of 8 shooting overall. This half alone, he is 0 for 2. First one is up and good.
And that's a reason why Hofstra's lead is more than 20, because William & Mary has not scored the way they traditionally have all season long. They're 6 for 21 on three-pointers. That's below 30%. And this is a team that has shot as well as 47% against some of the best teams in the nation at defending against the three ball, Richmond and Drexel.
Second one is good. They are 0 for 8 from deep for the half. They're 6 of 21 on the game. 64-43 as Thornton hits both. Thornton with an outside chance, if he has a good enough senior year and finishes off his junior year strong, to be possibly William & Mary's all-time leading scorer. That mark has stood since 1950 as Chet Giermach has 2,052 points. Thornton has 1,229 now, including the 8 points he has tonight. Upshaw, the floater in the lane from 4 feet, is too strong, and a foul, I believe, is going to be called at will. It'll go against Hofstra. It's against Stephen Wacconi, his 2nd, team 6th. So Hofstra won away from the bonus, excuse me. Thornton races across midcourt, under 7 minutes to play. William & Mary down by 21. The left wing side, it's Tarpey. It's Thornton, Tarpey, Pruitt, Sheldon, and Boatner, the 5 out there for the Tribe. Pruitt has it right to the key, and a foul away from the play is going to be called. That one's going to go against Robinson again, his 3rd, team 7th. So free throws coming. I believe it'll be Omar Pruitt to go to the line. No, it'll be Tarpey. Terry Tarpey, a sophomore from Stamford, Connecticut, averages 6 points a game. Shaver, after their win over JMU, said he and Kyle Gaylord are the most important players on the team. When they play well, William & Mary's going to win. The first one is around and out, so he misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
Well, you remember on Hofstra's first possession, Tarpey stole it away from Dion Nesmith and gave William & Mary their first 2 points of the game. That's part of his game. He gets extra possessions for William & Mary. He's top 5 in the conference in steals per game.
This time it's Pruitt who comes up with the steal. Musa Kone can't accept an entry feed. Swung around into the right corner. Boatner, a 3-ball on the way, is short. He rushed it. The rebound deflected. A foul's going to be called again. This time it's on Dion Nesmith. Joe Mihalik has his arms out in disbelief. Nesmith's 3rd, team's 8th. Free throws coming again for Tarpey. He'll have a chance to redeem himself after missing the front end last time.
Well, what Dion has done tonight is he hasn't gotten into foul trouble when Hofstra has really needed him on the floor. Not so in the first half when he was providing a ton of offense, but against UNCW in that game, Hofstra really had to grind that one out towards the end because he was in foul trouble almost the entire game, as that free throw is no good.
Barely hit the front of the rim. 3 fouls each for Nesmith, Robinson, and Kone. That's the only players for either side in foul trouble. No one has more than 2 for the Tribe. Zeke Upshaw has it, bounces right block for Wacconi, and going to be called for a charge. He made the layup, but Boatner set his feet. Wacconi never saw him. 3rd foul on Stevens, so add him to the list of Pride players with 3 personals. Player control fouls, so no free throws. 5:56 left. Hofstra up by 21. But Stephen Wacconi being more aggressive offensively, something Hofstra needs, Mark, as if you take away that 13-point effort against CFC, he averages less than 4 points a game over his last 8.
It's so important for him to contribute on offense. In 4 of Hofstra's 6 wins, either he or Musa Kone have scored at least 10 points. He and Kone are the only 2 players that carry along winning records with them when they score at least 10 points. Hofstra's 3-1 when Wacconi scores at least 10, and that says a lot because this is the team that has Dion Nesmith, the top scorer in the CAA, but it's been those post guys, Stephen Wacconi and Musa Kone, that have been the real guys who have contributed to Hofstra's win.
On one end, Rustoven made a baby hook. On the other end, Hofstra turned the basketball over. Inside, no look. Pretty feed from Boatner finds Tarpey. He almost missed the bunny. But it rolled around and in. Back-to-back buckets for the Tribe, 64-47, 5 minutes to play. And now William & Mary providing a half-court trap. Zeke Upshaw crosses midcourt, momentary double team. William & Mary releases the pressure, and then Boatner gets called for a foul. He tried to pickpocket Dion Nesmith instead will get called for his third personal and send Dion to the free throw line.
William and Mary looking to force a turnover and get a steal, get the basketball any way they can. With under 5 minutes to go, they've just cut into the lead so that it's just under 20 points, but Hofstra's going to have opportunities to build it up. Nesmith hits his first free throw.
Dion on the day now. 2 of 4 from the free throw line on the year, shoots 71% from the charity stripe. Second one up, hits the front of the rim and falls out. 13 points for Dion. Hofstra up 65-47, under 5 minutes to play. Thornton crosses over Jamal Robinson. Spot up three is good. Pretty move from Marcus Thornton. He's in double figures with 11. Sixth straight game he's in double figures, 16th time overall this season. 65-50, William and Mary creeping into it. They're running out of time though, 4.5 to play. Up top, Kone takes a screen from Nesmith, finds Upshaw. Carries it straight away. Swung around left wing side for Robinson. Robinson goes behind the back, drives inside, spot up, left side, 14-footer, good. Jamal Robinson has 5. Joe Mahalik immediately takes a timeout with 4:17 to play. Hofstra up by 17. It'll be a 30-second timeout. As Mark, now Hofstra, I like what they did on that last offensive possession, essentially swinging it around the perimeter. Robinson found a hole and took it, but it seems they're in no rush to take shots.
No, and they shouldn't be. You have a lead that's nearly 20. It was up to 20. There's less than 5 minutes to go. There's no reason for Hofstra to force shots. If you have the open shot, you want to take it, but at the same time, the clock is on your side, and you need to take advantage of that. You've got 35 seconds to work the basketball around, and I agree, that's what Hofstra should be doing right now, and if they have the open shot, a chance to extend the lead, they should take it, but there's no need to rush, there's no need to force shots, there's no need to really create any sort of opportunities. At this point, Hofstra can just wait, let that come to them, and really put all the pressure on William and Mary.
4:17 to play, William and Mary will have the basketball moving from left to right. Marcus Thornton has it, goes behind the back, guarded by Dion Nesmith. Drives inside, wild shot from the left side, no, but he draws contact. He'll go to the free throw line. Foul's going to go against Nesmith, that's his 4th. So now if you're William and Mary, do you try to rush up? 3 balls are kind of your bread and butter this year. Do you try to kind of chuck up threes, or do you give it to Thornton like they've done?
Well, how can you steer away from the threes? That's what's been carrying you all season long. That's been the mark, the trademark for your team. You're coming off one of your best wins of the year. Thornton's able to hit the first free throw, but it's been Hofstra's offense that has carried them today. You know, ironically enough, William and Mary has not been able to hit their shots, as Thornton's second one is good. Dion Nesmith is having one of the best games that he's had all season long, 13 points and 10 assists, an unconventional double-double for him.
First career double-double, career high in assists. His previous career high was 6, accomplished twice, most recently at Louisville in the loss back in November. Nesmith has it now. Goes off to Jamal Robinson. Fakes left, goes right, carries it top of the key. Hofstra up 67-52, under 4 to play. Most impressively about Nesmith, 10 assists, 1 turnover for the graduate student. Upshaw has it. The other graduate student drives inside. Fade away from 12 feet. No. Kone tried to tip the rebound. It wouldn't go. Rusthoven comes away with it. Looking to push quickly is Boatner. Top of the key. Boatner has it. Hands off to Marcus Thornton. Drives right. Stops at the foul line. Boatner left of the key. 3 is good. Boatner has 9 points, all coming from long distance. 67-55. Suddenly, it's a 12-point game.
Don't let
3:15 left.
Don't let this get under 10. That's when things can get dangerous as we come up on the 3-minute mark. We've seen Hofstra let leads slip away and let teams get back into ball games. This is a situation where Hofstra can't let that happen.
Nesmith has it 45 feet away from the basket. Omar Pruitt hounding Zeke Upshaw. Luckily no fouls called on him. Now Robinson gives off to Nesmith. There's 9 seconds on the shot clock. Nesmith out near midcourt. Takes a screen from Kone. Hesitates, steps back into the left corner. 3 on the way from Upshaw. Back rim, no. The rebound deflected around, and William and Mary comes away with it. The Tribe have a chance to cut it to within single digits with a 3. Thornton spots up, 18-footer deep 2 swish. The Tribe are storming back, 67-57, 2.5 left. Thornton with 15 points.
Suddenly some pressure on Hofstra. Now they have to shoot. They have to make a basket on this possession. Can't give the Tribe a chance to get within 7. They're a spectacular three-point shooting team in the most important minutes of this ball game right now.
The Pride have been outscored 16-3 over the last 4.5 minutes. Nesmith has it out near midcourt with 11 seconds left. Joe Mihalik's forced to use a timeout. He has 2 remaining, as does Tony Shaver. Now, Mark, if you're Hofstra, how do you handle this? Because all of a sudden, William & Mary, after being unable to hit anything in the first 15 minutes of the half, they can't miss it. Marcus Thornton doing what good players do. He's not having his best night, but when it matters most, he's starting to take over. That's what good players do. You don't need their A-plus game, but you can grind out points.
Hofstra's got to be aware of that. But right now, it's all about their offense. You still have a 10-point lead with 2 minutes and 7 seconds to play. At this point, Hofstra has to score. They need to create an opportunity. So different than it was just over 2-3 minutes ago, where they had a lead around 20 points and really had all the momentum on their side. Well, now there's a little bit of pressure. Hofstra's going to have to create an opportunity. Go to Zeke Upshaw. He's been your top scorer. Dion Nesmith has been another guy. He's got that double-double, 13 points and 10 assists. It's unconventional, but it shows the kind of night he's had contributing on Hofstra's offense.
Hofstra's won 2 of their last 3, coming off a 24-point loss to SMU. The Tribe have won 3 of 4. Off the rebound, off the inbound, 4 to shoot for Hofstra. Nesmith lost it, went off Musa Kone. The referees are going to say Tribe basketball. Joe Mihalik disagrees with it. I think they're going to talk it over. We'll tell you about it. They're going to look at the monitor. We'll tell you about it when we come back. 1:59 to play. It was at one point a 23-point Hofstra lead just 5 minutes ago. No more. 67-57. Hofstra leads William & Mary. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. 2 other conference games are currently in action. In Maryland, CAA Player of the Week, Jarrell Benneman and the Towson Tigers are hosting the Northeastern Huskies. But Towson is trailing Northeastern 48-42, just under 5 minutes left in the second half. Also underway, the UNCW Seahawks are in South Carolina to face the College of Charleston Cougars. The Seahawks are 0-5 in CAA play and look to snap a 9-game losing streak. But with less than 7 minutes left in the game, the College of Charleston's ahead 57-54. Moving over to some top 25 action now. Top-ranked Arizona will host Colorado tomorrow night at 9. Meanwhile, on Saturday, number 2 Syracuse will travel to Miami for a 1 o'clock tip-off. Also on Saturday, 2 Big Ten teams will square up at 7 p.m. Third-seeded Michigan State will host number 21 Michigan. With your sports break, I'm Jennifer Karasik. Now sent back to the guys on site, Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen, and Kerry Schreiber.
This is Joe Mihalik, head basketball coach of your Hofstra Pride men's basketball team. And you're listening to all the action live on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network.
You're listening to Hofstra Pride men's basketball on 88.7 FM WRHU and WRHU.org.
Minute 59 to go. Hofstra leads William & Mary 67-57. Rob Joyce, Mark Prusen with you. Kerry Schreiber was in the Hofstra huddle.
Thanks, guys. The Pride have come out a lot more confident in the second half, but they have to realize that it's not over yet. They have to keep making sure that they defend and block their passes so that they can't get the free ball. But communication has been key so far, and they've been talking to each other a lot more on the floor than they were in the first half, where the coaches were screaming from the bench, talk, talk. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Kerry. William & Mary has the basketball. Marcus Thornton pulls up 16 feet. Right side is short. Stephen Walcone skies for the rebound. That's his 12th. He averages 11 rebounds a game over his last 4. Hofstra up by 10. They move from left to right. Nesmith gets trapped along the sideline. Walcone gets decked by Tarpey. It looked like it was inadvertent, but Walcone takes a hard fall. Tarpey looks to help him up. Free throws coming for Walcone. It's Walcone, Kone, Nesmith, Robinson, and Upshaw. For William & Mary, it's Tarpey, who that's his second personal. Marcus Thornton, Omar Pruitt, Tim Rusthoven, and Julian Boatner. Hofstra led 34-33 at the half. They won on a 17-0 run early on in the second half to open up at one point a 23-point lead. That was at the 7:37 mark. Almost exactly 6 minutes later, it's a 10-point lead, courtesy of a 16-3 William & Mary run. Stephen Walcone at the line, 1 of 2 tonight, hits the front end. 19 fouls for William and Mary, 10 for Hofstra, so every foul after this, double bonus for both teams. Waukoni with 8 points, 12 rebounds. The second one is up, and it's good. 9 points for Waukoni, 2 big free throws there. It's back up to a 12-point lead, 95 seconds left. Thornton has it up top for Rusthoven, gives it back to Thornton, immediately drives inside, lays it up with the right hand, gently good. 17 points for Thornton, 11 this half, all of them coming really in the last 5 minutes. William and Mary tries to foul, Tony Shaver wants him to call it, they didn't. Right wing side, Nesmith gets double teamed, now they call the foul. So it'll be 2 free throws coming for Nesmith, it'll go against Boatner, his 4th.
And Hofstra can put this game away, making these free throws down the stretch. Get the lead up past 10. If William and Mary hits a three-pointer here, you know, it doesn't kill Hofstra because they'll still get another possession with a chance to put it back over the 10-point mark. So this is where Hofstra needs to keep their lead. This is where Hofstra needs to make their free throws. Nesmith is able to hit the first, so he now has 14 points tonight to go along with his 10 assists. He and Upshaw leading Hofstra's offense. But the contribution of Stephen Waukoni now with 9 points has also been very important for Hofstra to get that third scorer in addition to the 2 graduate students.
15 and 10 and 1 turnover for Nesmith. 70 seconds to play, Hofstra up by 12. Inside, Thornton at the foul line, up top for Tarpey, drives inside, lays it up with the left hand, can't get the layup to go, but he draws the foul. Free throws coming for Tarpey. They'll go against Zeke Upshaw, that's his first foul situation. 4 for Deion Nesmith, 3 each for Jamal Robinson, Stephen Waukoni, Musa Kone. The only player for William and Mary, Boatner, has 3 personals, as does Tarpey. Everyone else is good. Tarpey from the line, 0 for 2 tonight. He's missed back-to-back front ends of 1-and-1s. This time he has 2. He hits the first. Jenkins was at the scorer's table, then immediately rushed back right before the shot went in, so he will not come in. Now he goes back. Looks like he'll come in if the free throw is made, as will Daniel Dixon for William and Mary. Tarpey, the second one, up, around and out. Waukoni, his 13th rebound, grabs it, and a foul's called. William and Mary fouls Waukoni, that will go against Rusthoven. That's his third.
They'll get Rusthoven to the over the back on Waukoni as he was going to grab that rebound.
Stephen Waukoni has a chance for his 4th double-double this year, his 9th of his career. This is someone who had just 1 point on Sunday. No one played well on Sunday, and that loss to SMU.
Well, Stephen Waukoni is in the middle of his best season for Hofstra this year. Certainly his most consistent. He hits the first free throw, so that puts him up at 10 points and gives him the double-double. But we've seen Stephen struggle over these last 3 years, keeping that consistency and being that lockdown rebounder, that lockdown post player for Hofstra. And more often than not this year, that's what you've gotten from Waukoni. The last game is the exception, but that's been the exception for the entire team as he knocks down the back end as well.
Tarpey left, Dixon will come in. He hit both, 11 and 13 for Stephen Waukoni. Those 13 rebounds, 1 off his career high as Jamal Robinson grabs a loose ball and immediately fouled. So Hofstra with 1:02 to play. All they have to do is hit their free throws, not foul on the other end, and it looks like they will move to 3-1 in the CAA. And Mark, scarier than they originally intended. A 17-0 run, they're up by 23, and you think it's all smiles around the Mack, and the Mack was about as loud as you've heard it all year. And with the weather the last couple of days, there aren't many people here, and William and Mary is a nice chunk of the crowd right behind the Tribe bench. No one there for Hofstra as Robinson hits the first free throw. Everyone's out near midcourt.
This is a team that was picked 9th in the CAA, coming off the worst season in program history. But there were signs that this team was a little more talented than people thought from the out-of-conference season. Just taking Richmond to overtime as one example, and even building that up to a double-digit lead at points in the second half was an indicator.
Pruitt, right wing 3, around and out. Waukoni ties a career-high 14 rebounds, and he gets fouled by Rusthoven. It's 75-60 with 56 seconds left. The Hofstra bench still looks tense. Early this second half, they were as loose and as happy as you've seen them all year. Things immediately tightened up. But now up by 15 with under a minute to play. Stephen Waukoni at the line. The last 5 points for him have come from the line. He's 5 of 6 tonight. First one up, make it 6 of 7. Waukoni on the year, 70% free throw shooter. He's been pretty good.
Quietly, he's been one of the better free throw shooters on Hofstra, and it's an area that has been under so much scrutiny with this team because the lack of success down the stretch with free throws. These free throws that Waukoni just made, Hofstra has been struggling with.
The foul is on Rusthoven, that's his 4th. Up top, Marcus Thornton drives inside, step back, all alone, pops from the foul line, short. Nesmith goes away with the rebound, crosses midcourt, and it looks like William and Mary will back off. Hofstra still has to shoot. There's a 12-second differential between shot and game clock, but the few here at the Mack are on their feet applauding the second half effort of Hofstra. As Nesmith is on the left side, he's guarded lightly by Boatner, 15 to shoot. Hofstra will move to 3-1 in the conference, their 3rd best start ever in the CAA for a team that was picked to finish 9th in the conference. Robinson, step back, deep 2 from the left wing side, no good. Hofstra grabs the offensive rebound, and they will be able to run things out. The second half has been such an issue all year for Hofstra, but behind a 17-0 run, and about as loud of Mack Sports Complex as you've heard all year, they down William and Mary 77-60. How about this? They're 3-1 in the conference.
Well, it's their second upset of the year, and it's their 3rd in the CAA. A tremendous win for Hofstra. The offense was there, and it wasn't there for William and Mary. Credit the Hofstra defense. Marcus Thornton, it took him a while to get up to 17 points. There are times in the second, don't forget, late in the second, where he only had 6 points. So he was able to bring that up to 17. One of the reasons why William and Mary was able to cut down on the lead, but Hofstra built it back up, and they beat William and Mary by 17. A 3-1 start for Hofstra, their best since the 2010-2011 season where they started 4-0, and it's all smiles on the Hofstra bench right now.
The Pride were led by Zeke Upshaw, who had 21 points on 7 of 16 shooting, 8 rebounds. Double-double for Dion Nesmith, 15 points, 10 assists. As we're now joined by assistant coach Mike Farrelly. And coach, you go on that 17-0 run early in the second half. Offense work, defense work. Was that as good a 5-minute stretch as you've seen this year?
Pretty much. It didn't seem like we really missed during that stretch. So we keep telling them that's how we should start the games, but, you know, they wait and make us wait for that. But, no, it was terrific. It was great basketball. Everything was kind of clicking, rebounding, finding the open man, played unselfishly on offense. Everything looked really good.
Now, tell me about the defense tonight, because it took a while for their big scores to get up to those double digits. Thornton finished with 17, but there were times in the second where he only had 6 points.
Yeah, no, we did a pretty good job against him. Big thing is we wanted to switch as much of their actions as possible. You know, they run the Princeton offense, which, you know, is detailed, and they got a lot of options. But I'll tell you what, I really think we won this game in our preparation. We had 2 great days refocusing these guys after what was a terrible game on Sunday for us at SMU. I thought the guys did a great job in preparation the last 2 days. We understood what they were going to run, what we needed to do to be successful against what they were running, and for the most part they executed, especially in the second half.
How good was Dion Nesmith? Career high 10 assists and just 2 turnovers.
You know what? And you remember the turnovers. You don't remember the assists as much. You say, "Oh gosh, Dion, how about that? How about that turnover?" But no, Dion's been good. You know, and obviously he played 40 minutes. Correct? He didn't come out. You know, he just
correct.
He does so much for our team. You know, he's got to be our best defender and guard the ball. He's got to make shots. He's got to get us into our offense. He throws passes, all that stuff. So he's so important, and I'm proud of the way he played tonight. He did a great job.
All right, assistant coach Mike Farrelly. Coach, congrats. We'll talk to you Saturday.
Thanks, guys.
Hofstra wins 77-60 over William and Mary. They move to 3-1 in CAA play. And Mark, and that second half, everything worked for the Pride. We know what they can do at times offensively, but I think defensively, that 5-minute stretch against a team that comes in averaging 74 points a game with one of the best scorers in the conference in Marcus Thornton, he had his late, but for a good 25 minutes, they had him bottled up.
Yeah, no, there's no question. And Hofstra, again, has shut down one of the conference's best players. In this case, it was the second leading scorer. Now, Thornton still got up to 17 points, but for the most part, when Hofstra was building their lead, when it was important, they kept Thornton off the scoreboard. Not the first time we've seen it this year. Back in the game against the College of Charleston, they held Ajay Baru and Willis Hall down to season lows below their averages in that game. There have been signs this year that Hofstra has been able to pull off these wins.
And how about Stephen Waukoni? Double-double for him, 14 rebounds, ties a career high. He was huge. Absolutely.
There's no question. And I've been saying it the last few games for Hofstra. He has to be involved in the offense. If it's not him, it's Kone. They need that post presence on offense. They're now 4-1 when Oconee has at least 10 points. He had 13 tonight, and the rebounds have been so important. Mahalik, you and I heard him say more than once in the preseason that he thinks Wacone's the best rebounder in the conference. Right now, 4 games that he's playing like it.
Next up, Saturday, Northeastern comes in. They're 5-14. 13 of those losses by single digits. Kind of like Hofstra, they still haven't learned to win close games. And Hofstra, if we've learned anything this year, take, for example, the Fairleigh Dickinson blowout loss. They can't come in. Yes, they're 3-1. They can't come in expecting anything.
Right. I agree with that. You know, Hofstra is still a team. They have those things. They have those kinds of games on their schedule. But look at what they did tonight, coming off one of their worst losses of the season, and they were really down. The coaching staff was down after the SMU loss. The players were down, but they still came out the next game and put up a win like this. So Hofstra right now, I think, is all smiles. And I think they're going to get right back to the books because that's what this team has done all season long. You heard Coach Farrelly say they won this game in their preparation, the days leading up to this game.
All right, that'll do it here from the Mack. Stay tuned. Post-game edition of The Locker Room. Mark Weiner, Andrew Fertitta, Nick Filastro have your stats, your highlights, your analysis, and much more the next few minutes. The Pride are next in action Saturday. They welcome in the defending CAA regular season champions in Northeastern. Pre-game starts at 3:30, tip-off at 4. That one can be heard over on 1490 AM WGCH or right here watching live on Pride Productions on GoHofstra.com. Once again, the final Hofstra 7-12 on the year, 3-1 in the CAA. They down William & Mary 77-60. For Mark Person and Kerry Schreiber, I'm Rob Joyce. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. Mark Weiner, take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob. Hofstra improves to 3-1 on the CAA play. They get the win, 77-60 over the William & Mary Tribe.